recording.
All right. Okay, guys, what's going on? It's your boy. I'm Monkey McCarnival, and this is my homie. He goes by RealAlphaGamer. You might know him as WQQQQWRT. He is a top level Link to the Past speedrunner. Do you currently hold the world record?
No, I don't. I think I'm in third place. I should be in fourth place soon. Now I played League of the Past from 2013 to about 2020. I got the record in 2019. But yeah, I played it for several years. It was a lot of fun, and I used to play Melee before that. I played Smash Brothers Melee for a very long time. I'm one of the older players actually of Melee. I was horrible at it when I started playing, but I love the game. So I've been following the competitive Melee scene for like close to 20 years.
Yeah, I also play Melee. I've been following the scene since 2018. I remember like in high school on the school iPad, I would watch Melee tournament videos and be watching like Mang0 and shit, and I had so much fun with it. And then 2020 rolls around and Slippy came out. So since Slippy came out, I've been grinding and playing. It's a lot of fun. We're both Falco mains.
Yeah, which is great. Falco's my favorite character. I absolutely love Falco. I used to play
It's so fucking
Fox and
cool.
Marth, but then I don't know. I just fell in love with the bird in 20. It must have been 2012. Maybe 2011. I was like, I'm doing it. Never looked back. So
Hell yeah, dude. So we're both, we've both been around for a minute. We both love Melee. But unfortunately, the community, it's not looking great. Everyone knows about the hack situation, what went down with that. There's so much fucking sketchy shit, so many people that lie, so many people that just did evil things to this man. And I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you guys already know about that. You've probably already watched the technicals video, which is great. So I wanted to talk about something that is not talked about a lot, it seems, on Twitter, or I'm not seeing my opinion echoed by other people. So Mang0 got banned around 2 months ago because he was at the Beerio Kart event hosted by Ludwig, and he got blackout drunk and just started dry humping women. And it wasn't a fluke. I mean, you could say that he was drunk or whatever, but like it's one thing to like go up and dry hump one woman, and it's another thing over the course of the event to just hone in on every single woman and start dry humping. It is not a good look for Mang0. No one thinks it is. So he lost his C9 sponsorship. He's banned for 1 year from Super Smash Bros. Melee. And, obviously he put out tweets. He's devastated. He's sad. He's saying, guys, like, I'm a broken person. I'm going to work every day to come back from this. I'm sorry I let so many people down. He's going through the whole rigmarole of this whole situation. And he said that he would go to rehab and he would stop drinking. That is what he said. Now, obviously, being banned for 1 year for actually being a danger to people at events compared to what Hacks did, which is make a few YouTube videos about leffen, it's night and day. So you're really seeing the nepotism of the community letting Mang0 back in so easily compared to when they just barred out Hacks. So you guys might think that we're a little hard on Mang0 in this video. So because of that, I want to set the stage with some old Hacks tweets before he passed. So this is August 10th, 2024. Life emergency, please help spread awareness. I've been scared to break the ice about how dire my current situation is, but at this point I have to. For the past 6 months, my mother and I have been completely stranded from society. We've been bleeding money due to the abrupt loss of my career, and we are on the cusp of no longer being able to afford the apartment we live in. So Pax was living in an apartment with his mom in New York. In New York. As you guys are aware, New York is one of the most expensive cities to live in the entirety of the United States. So for Hacks to lose his reputation, because you guys got to understand, it's not just about being able to enter tournaments and win the prize money from that. It's about his reputation. Because he was selling box controllers. A big part of making money is like streaming and networking with other people, being part of the club. That's like where the real money and the real clout comes from. But he was completely banned from it. They tried to say that he was crazy when we all know that he's not. Let's keep reading this. I've been hospitalized 4 times due to stress, and due to the stress I'm under, causing me to repeatedly faint. I fear that I'm going to have a stroke soon, as long as I live with this perpetually high blood pressure. And he goes on, and it's just, it paints a picture because it's different when we talk about it now, right? When people say like, "Oh, dude, the hack situation was fucked up, but like we got to move on. There's so much more melee to play." Like people don't understand that it's not like a one-off thing or like an accident that this happened to hacks. It was a collective effort of all of the people in the community shutting him off, this culture of having him canceled. And it's just it's so sad to go back and read these tweets because he's a real person who dedicated basically all of his life to Melee. He loved it with all of his heart, and they shut him out. So how does this tie into Mang0? You might be wondering. Well, Mang0 is one of the many people who did not speak out about hacks. There were very few people who said free hacks who were the top dogs in the Melee community. Melee never said free hacks, right? He never put out any tweets like, "Hey, this hack situation is kind of messed up." He fenced that
You
because
know,
he's concerned about his reputation. Go ahead,
well,
WQ.
I am I watched a technicals video recently, and I mean, um, yeah, I'm trying to get like a trying to figure out like get my bearings and prepare for this podcast, and something in it that I thought was shocking was almost nobody spoke out about hacks. Like nobody spoke out about it, and it became like this weird political issue. And like you're really not allowed to talk about how because it might make your image look bad. It might make you look bad, but the end
Mm,
result was obviously horrible. And I don't even think it was that surprising. I mean, Hacks was he was reaching out. I mean, he's begging the community for help for years. So it's like, yeah, I think it's also, with Mango, man, it's also very it makes the community look really bad if Mango gets unbanned, in my opinion, because you banned a guy for something that I know the hacks detractors will think, okay, it was deserved ban, but like it seems like nobody really just thinks it was a deserved ban. I mean, he made like a few videos on a guy who doesn't play melee, so he's banned for life. Um, and then you have hacks, or you have Mango, who, yeah, I mean, he was like dry humping women at an event. Mango doesn't even have a good track record. I mean, that guy before
mm.
2013 he was all over the place. He was one of the more goofy guys, and like his alcohol problem is always been a thing. I think he's done other things in the community, but people just kind of shush about it. So I think
Yeah.
this Mango one ban is super polarizing.
And I think it's in one of the Mango clips that I have pulled up. But when he's talking about the situation, he's like, "Yeah, I know I've always been a drunk asshole, and I asked people to reach out, and they told me times that I was drunk and did some fucked up shit, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry." So even by Mango's own admission, he's always been on some fuck shit with his alcohol problem. I think it was even like a year ago. He was like blackout drunk, like spazzing out the sidewalk, and there was a cop there,
Really?
and I think they had to detain him or something because he was so all over the place. But everyone gassed him up. They were like, "That's the Mango.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go out like a buster." You know what I mean? This guy is 30 years old, married with a kid. You know what I mean? Like it's beginning. It's not even beginning. Like it's been unacceptable behavior for him to conduct himself like this, especially when you have other players getting shit for less severe things like Bobby Big Balls. He took a sip of wine in his car. He wasn't even driving. And people called him out for drunk driving and tried to call him a monster. And they brought
Really?
up all these statistics. But you have Mango sexually harassing women, getting blackout drunk at this event. And then all of a sudden, it's either the people that are so critical of the Smash community go quiet, or you just have the Mango simps going, "Oh, bro, you'll get through this. You'll get through this. Hey, man, it's whatever. It's whatever. Just keep pushing."
I think
Because
it's too
that's
much, man. I think it's way too much. Like you have like this hacks issue is really big. I think it's a really big deal.
It's
And
huge.
this happened, from what I understand, this happened the end of last year. It's almost been a full year since the his passing, unfortunately. I mean, just tragically. Um, you would think things would simmer out and the melee community would recover, but it seems like it's getting bigger every day. It's being they're unable to contain it. They're unable to, put the water balloon under their shirt. It's just getting more filled with water, and it's going to explode. And it's like they're just trying to throw it under the rug, and I don't think they're able to. And this hasn't really gotten mainstream attention, from what I understand. Like we haven't
Yeah.
seen any of the huge talking figures like Asmongold or like The really big streamers, you know, Ludwig, I mean, he won't talk about it from what I understand him,
No.
at least to his mainstream audience. Like the it hasn't really hit that mainstream audience. I mean, this is such a real issue, man. And I mean, you know, we should talk about this too, but like melee community, I mean the melee community, yes, and the game viewership is going down. It is dying, it is
Tremendously.
going down. I wanted to also continue to talk about, well, people don't agree that Hack should have been banned. Now he passed away. People are leaving the scene. If Mang0 gets unbanned, the scene's a hypocrite. I mean, they're hypocritical, absolutely. More people are gonna leave the scene. I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah, it's so blatantly disrespectful to not even acknowledge hacks in this situation because what the melee community has decided to do, they're all running with the same narrative. They're like, yeah, there might have been a teensy bit of wrongdoing on the TO's part, but we were all just trying to help and did our best. And now let's move on from this whole hacks thing. That's their narrative. But what clearly happened is you have all these man children, all these like super biased, clicky people who are in charge and have their own vendettas instead of an unbiased governing body to decide on things like this. And now, when it's come to the political stuff, you know, it's always divisive to get into it because, you know, like if you want to speak up for a banned player that got banned because of their political views, then you're going to get labeled a certain way. So it makes you not want to do that. But by the same token, like if your political views are not affecting anyone at the venue, why should you be banned? You know? And that's when it came to hacks, that's what I think the main argument against the melee community is because once that happened to hacks, it should have been okay. Look, you guys had your time and now you fucked up. It led to some like the mismanagement of this situation was so bad, it led to a death. So what needs to happen now is the community needs to change. We need to have just bans, we need to have actual safety for the events, and we need to have fairness for everyone that wants to play melee. So when you have Mang0 going out, getting blackout drunk and dry humping women, and he's gonna be back in a year, and Mang0's already angling on his stream, he's like, yeah, I think they might even unban me a little earlier if I'm on good behavior. You know, it's so disrespectful to the entire situation. And it's a stain on all of the top players, this situation, because it's not, hacks isn't even a political issue, right? Like, hacks isn't like a hot button issue that anyone outside of the melee community would even know about or think is tied to any sort of politics.
It's not. It's actually not political, from what I understand. And I
Not at
know
all.
the community's trying to make it political, and there's obviously like people on certain political bodies are shifted in one direction or another, which is just the state of politics. So I know people are going to disagree with this, especially if a lot of the detractors watch content like this, they'll say, well, no, it isn't political, and they'll discard our opinions. But I don't see how it is political, and I see an issue that deeply affected me. I still remember the exact time I realized that. I learned of how it happened. I
It's like
mean, it
9/11,
was,
dude.
and it's beyond just hacks. 'Cause, I've been playing melee for forever, and Hacks wasn't my favorite player. I was not a Falcon player. I've never liked Captain Falcon. I know Hacks is a Captain Falcon player. I've just never really like attached to him. Um,
He switched to hit Fox was his main, I think, for the last remainder
Yeah,
of
he
his.
switched to a Fox main. I'm like, you do go back to Falcon. His Pink Falcon was legendary. I think he would have been a way better player as a Pink Falcon, but whatever. I mean, I think people evolve, and it's not, that's a game thing. That's okay. It's okay to not like someone's gameplay or their character or whatever. I think it's always been okay. I think this whole idea of like, oh, I don't like him, of his politics that have nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
That was a lot of what I'm targeting. But it's like the more I would tweet about the hacks thing and read about it, and it's like I'm like, there's no politics in this at all. I mean, a
Mm.
lot of the people. I mean, it was like 90% of the people in melee, from what I understand. There was a poll: 90% support hacks being unbanned. Well, the melee community is generally left wing. Something's wrong here. I think the hacks unban was just unfair. I mean, it was just unfair, and people didn't want to speak out about it, and it went to the
Yeah.
it went to the worst outcome possible.
All right, so you guys might be thinking, Whatever. He didn't put out a tweet about hacks. It was all to protect his mental health. But this is Hax's tweet when he first announced that he had attempted to take his own life. So when Hax had passed, I was not ever aware of this. I had no idea that he was wearing a prosthetic. I had no idea that he'd attempted to take his own life. And I had adjacently, in my peripheral, I'd kept up with this situation. I'd never heard of this. So what's interesting is if you go to the retweets, right, you would think you would want to get exposure for this, all the people like Cody. Cody claims that he's been working with Hax to get him unbanned for so long, and he did everything he could. But when something this major happens to Hax, let me see. Can I pull up the analytics? Yeah. If you go, dude, you can scroll through all of the quote tweets, all of the reposts. Really? You're not going to see a Zain. You're not going to see a Mang0. You're not going to see any of these top players in here. I think the only one, when I went through this last time, the only one that jumped out to me was Swooper, the Samus player, because he was very close with Hax. But, no Cody, nobody wanted to retweet this. And I'm sure their cope is that it was to not further deteriorate his mental health. But yeah, what actually happened is that they talked to each other behind the scenes. I'm sure, this is my speculation. They talked to each other and they said, don't retweet this. It's only going to hurt his mental health. They didn't want to get shit for it, and they didn't want to fuel the argument to get Hax unbanned. Because you would think there was so much support for Hax even back then, myself included. You would think that this would be the straw that broke the camel's back. You know what I mean? Before he even passed away, you would think it's like, oh my gosh, like.
And what date was? When did he post this?
This was December 13th of 2024.
Do you know when he passed away? Like,
I want to say March.
Okay, wait, Jesus, man, it's so sad. Like, it's just,
but yeah,
it's sad how you can, it's all chronicled. So you can see the deterioration.
Yeah.
Deterioration.
His mom left up all the tweets. Everything is still there, and that's I have this clip pulled up as well. This is from the technicals video, just to like really drive it home, because people so badly in the Melee community want the hack situation to be left behind. There's so much more Melee to play.
I know, it's so sick, dude.
It's grassroots, guys. We're so pushing around CRTs. We're like the realest motherfuckers in the world. Here is the compilation of Hax apologizing to Leffen. Just watch his health deteriorate.
Here, turn the volume up. I can't hear it.
Overblew it and basically turned it into the entire community's problem. So far, in fact, that I need to extend an apology to Leffen for some of the things that I said.
Look, he looks pretty good here.
They were uncalled for.
How's it going, everyone? It's Hax. I must sincerely apologize to Leffen.
I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? It's Hax. First one that I want to address is...
I mean, look, his hair is thinning. He's gaining weight. This guy, they let this guy suffer. They literally let this guy rot. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
year
sure.
after year, begging, just please let me have income. Please let me have my friends back.
He shouldn't have to beg. It's just, it's insulting to the guy too, to like...
It is.
Make him
it's demoralizing.
It's disgusting. I think it's disgusting. I think the Melee community is doomed. I mean, and I know this comes to the Mang0 thing that we're like, this Mang0 ban, I think it's like it's just a nail in the coffin. And I think this Hax thing is just you can't let it go, and they're not people aren't letting it go, unfortunately.
Exactly. And that's what it's gonna get into, because fucking Mang0, the way he talks about his ban is so nonchalant.
You're right.
As if as if he's not aware of any of this.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to care at all. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't even. It is shocking to me. It floors me. It feels like nobody in the polity of the Smash community cares about this at all. Like there hasn't been any address of it. There's no real statements in front of tournaments. Nothing was changed in order to prevent this in the future. Nobody's addressing it in any way, and I'm shocked. And I played Melee in 2013, and I campaigned for Melee to go to Evo. I campaigned a lot. I was active every single day. I was active on all forums, on all streams. I never donated a penny in my life. I spent
My God.
dozens of hours, man, getting that game into Evo. Like I spent weeks is all I did. And back then, this never would have happened. And then number two, if it did happen by some unfortunate circumstance, absolutely things would have changed. Absolutely, there would have been, hey, this is what we did wrong, or this is what we could have done better, or we're gonna do this. This is gonna be in place to prevent this. This isn't acceptable. I mean, I don't even look. Maybe on some level it's a political issue, like it's not. But let's just argue, in the sake of the others, like maybe it is a political issue on some level. But Hacks himself is not politically. I mean, this guy I don't think ever made political tweets. I don't think he ever said anything political. I don't think like let's just strongman the Hacks detractors and say that it's the political the bad political party certainly agrees with him, right? But Hacks himself, I don't think was ever political, and it's just it's like it blows my mind that it's being covered up on any level. I think it's being covered up.
He was actually on their side. Like, not only was he not political, like, he wasn't like a super, he wasn't like a SJW progressive or anything, but he was so much on their side that after he was banned, Technicals made a video about him, and the whole Smash community hates Technicals because he's right about everything, right? But just to save face, Hacks retweeted Technicals' video and said, just so you know, I don't co-sign anything in this video. But then he had DMs with Technicals. He's like, yeah, man, like, don't take offense to it. I'm really just trying to get back into the community. And Mana Monthly, the alternative Melee tournament where all the banned players play, he refused to play with them to save face and try to get back into the Smash community. Because he gets...
it gets worse.
I'm truly sorry for all of
yeah, this isn't even the worst.
Dude.
Post-suicide. I think one of these apologies is post-suicide. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Really?
Post-suicide attempt.
I'm sorry for the hyperbole and paranoia that I exhibited on the original video. I confess that this was unnecessary. While the metagame revision was triggering, it wasn't the end of the world as I made it out to be. I apologize to Leffen and the community for projecting that narrative.
I'd also like to sincerely apologize to Leffen,
like,
who are wrong very
and
throughout this process, despite the fact that I've gone well out of my way to try to never admit to that. Leffen, I'm sorry to you for the pain and suffering that I've brought to you over the course of these past few years. As I've confided in you before, I'm not in the best of health.
He's apologized to Leffen like 5 times.
I mean, and I think he's. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but
this is the worst.
Yeah, he looks horrible in this
one. Yeah, I think. Is this when was the?
That was a year ago. That was over a year ago at this point.
December 2024. Okay, yeah, so this is before it.
Extend the olive branch by
but yeah, dude, it's like he lost weight in the last one, and you can see the alcohol was getting to him here, like the inflammation in his cheeks, the thinning of the hair. I mean, look, they did this to this guy. He tried to play ball with them. He said, "I'll disavow Technicals. I won't play with Mana Monthly. Please, you just got to let me play again." And they threw him out like trash. I mean, and this guy, he put 20 years of his life just dedicating to this game. And all these TOs just blocked him out for what seems to be no reason. I don't understand it.
I have been saying it since the day this happened, and I remember I tweeted about it because I haven't been active on social media for years, and I remember I tweeted about it the day it happened because it really bothered me. And it was the first tweet I made in months, and I said they murdered him. I said straight up, and I still stand by that. And I know legally there's some fuzz there. It's a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Because people argue, well, are you sure? But I mean, I'm talking about morally and socially. Like, that's what I think happened. That's what I think. I stand by it, and I think it's just sick. And I mean, yeah, that's the reality of the situation. It's just tragic.
And when we get into Mang0, there's something unfortunate, right, that I'll point out.
Okay.
And it's that Mang0 basically said, I hate to spoil so much, but he's like, I could just, he's like, theoretically, I could just go get a job and like not mess with Melee anymore. Like I could just do what I want on my stream. And it's unfortunate that Hacks couldn't bring himself to take that route. It's unfortunate. He was so attached to like what Melee was to him and the scene, and he was so sick of being demonized and treated like a crazy person. It's unfortunate to me that he didn't just go the Mana Monthly route. You know, that he didn't just he did stream on his own, but it's it's sad it's sad that he was pushed to this point mentally where he was groveling instead of going on the attack.
Yeah, I think it's sick, man. I was pushed to this point quite well, not this point, no, but I was pushed to a similar point years ago in the A Link to Past scene. 'Cause I used to speedrun A Link to the Past, and yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there was quite a bit of negativity, and it was, you know, Link to the Past is weird because there's only ever 20 active people at a time, and that, you know, that's at most we had like 100, right? But even right now, there's probably only like 15. So it's always been kind of a small scene, and it's so small. Melee's gigantic compared to Zelda, but even back then, it's the same problem where like there was a governing body that was making decisions that I didn't agree with, and then effectively I was being pushed out of the community, and like then they started bullying me and they started harassing me and they started, you know, and it drove me nuts. It was absolutely driving me nuts, and like I think in a way I left the scene and I wanted to come back, and then I'd leave again, and then I just do my own thing, and it never ended. And you know, one thing I got kind of lucky on, I got vindication. Um, one of the main guys behind a lot of the harassment was he was making fake speedruns, and you know, when it was obvious, the community just said, "Oh, it's," you know, they just pretended he wasn't, which that was horrible. I mean, I felt miserable about that. I felt lied to. I felt like they were gaslighting me. But then a few months later, they just found proof for it, and at that point, I tried to enter the scene again because I figured, you know, things would blow over. But the guy never left. He was just streaming on an alt account, and all of his friends, who all were moderators, they were all leaderboard moderators, were just hanging out with him and tolerating it. And I don't know, I just felt so miserable about it.
Yeah.
But I found vindication through Apollo Legend. He made a video on that situation. It has like 3 million views on YouTube. So I know people do care about this and do think about it. But, you know, tragically, Apollo's not with us either. And it was a very similar situation to Hacks. And I think it's why this situation affected me, because, well, that and my younger brother. But I, you know, if when you're specifically looking at Hacks, like I never knew Hacks. I don't know Hacks. But Apollo I knew very well, and my brother I knew very well, and it's the same story. And it's the same story with Hacks, and it's sad to see it continually happen, and there's nothing to change about it. And worst of all,
Yeah.
it seems like the Smash community wants to cover it up. They want to brush it under the rug or pretend it never happened, which I think is disgusting. I think it's absolutely sick. I'm hoping the scene, I think everybody in the scene should be eradicated. All TOs should be totally replaced. The scene needs a
Yeah.
reset. It should either die or needs a reset. That's what I think.
That's the issue, is that like so many all the people who are complacent or fence sitting, whether it be Mang0, whether it be Zain, you know, there's a stain on like basically all of the top competition in the game. It's like, how do you fix that? I don't keep up, you know, I love Melee. I don't
Yeah.
watch any of the new tournaments, you
How
know what I
can
mean?
you?
Like, as much as I'd like to see like the game evolve and like take notes from them, I just cannot bring myself to do that, because I know what these people did. I know that they didn't stand up for what was right on something that wasn't even a political issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They fucked off. And something I want to segue into here real quick. People always debate on how much impact Leffen had on the hack situation.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, people are like, "Oh, well, he's a victim of harassment or whatever." I just want to play this one clip. If you are not convinced that Leffen is a cold, selfish, opportunistic person that does not care about anyone else but himself, I'm going to play this clip from the technicals video. This is Leffen's response to the hack situation.
Actually dying.
If I say something, they'll be mad. If I don't say something, they'll be mad. I'd rather just not talk about it if I can't. Like, I'd rather not play the game if I can't win. I think there's anything I can ever do that will make these people happy.
In hindsight, it makes this
What's so fucking crazy about that is you have this guy you've known in the community for years and years and years that you feuded with,
Yeah, they
and you
hate
had
each
this
other.
they had this burning hot beef, right? And you know, it's all over Smash, you know what I mean? It's not like Hacks fucked his girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
this
right,
is like
right, yeah.
this is like some like really weird deep-seated rivalry. But when something like this ends in a death and you're on the opposing end of basically like perpetuating this narrative of this guy, wouldn't a normal person take a step back and go like, "Oh my God, dude, I can't believe he's dead. This went too far. This went too far, man. I can't believe it." Or how could you address it in the way that he did? He's like, "Well, no one's gonna be happy if I say anything, so what the fuck am I supposed to do?" That's such a like he just died, you know what I mean? This is like right after Hacks died. That's his response to someone he's known for years and years passing away. It's like it's so self-centered. You know, he's like, it doesn't benefit me to respond, so I just won't say anything. Instead of being like, okay, here's my piece on this guy that I've known for years and years that I had a beef with, and like, you know, RIP. You know what I mean? Like it needs something. And I think that's
I don't know how their beef started, but I remember very distinctly. I think it was Apex 2013. I don't think it was Evo, but I think it was Apex. It may have been Evo, but Hacks beat Leffen for 5th place, and he like jumped on the stage and like ran around the crowd. It's in America, and everybody's cheering. Leffen was so mad about that, and like, and there's no way their beef started from that. But I remember that was like such a key moment in the history of the game that like just So I don't know. I wonder. I mean, there's no way Leffen forgot about that.
Hacks was a major reason for evidence.zip.
Oh yeah, the original evidence.zip. Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
right.
he was a big part of that. So I'd imagine.
I never read that actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for the beef. Yeah, so like I can't imagine like reacting like that. Yeah, so a little more before we get into the preliminary Mang0 stuff. This is his YouTube. His YouTube didn't really take a hit.
This is Mang0's YouTube. Okay, yeah.
We're going back to Mang0.
His Twitch viewership is down from what I understand, right?
Yeah, he's averaging basically half the viewers that he normally would.
Wow.
So like I remember seeing Mang0 normally hovering around like 1100 viewers, like no matter what he's doing. And now he hovers around like 500, 600 depending. So it's not horrible by any means, but you know, as you can see in his social blade, he lost 2,000 followers, and I think you told me that he lost 5,000 on Twitter. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh. No, he lost 5,000 on Twitch. If you go to
Was it?
Yeah, go to Solinome or Twitch Tracker.
I forgot how long ago it was. This is only the past 30 days.
Go to Solinome or Twitch Tracker. That's the best websites. Like just type in SULLYGNOME or Twitch Tracker is good too. Yeah, and then because that'll give you a little bit more, longer, a little bit better for Twitch.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, they want me to pay for the social blade. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's just nonsense. I looked at it. This was like, it must have been a week or two ago. He was down at 5,000 from his peak. So that's 10% of his followers. Oh no, it's 1%, right? Yeah, it's 1% of his followers, which isn't not a huge number.
Yes, in the past 30. Yeah, let's see the past 3 months.
And then average viewers is down. I mean, every metric's down except game stream.
600. Yeah, I mean that's almost like exactly.
Look at
from his
performance summary on the left. So that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
That's not his peak.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
dude. It's not. I don't think
he's losing really 5 followers an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's really hit the lows. Like I think if this continues, it's going to be pretty brutal. We're not really we're at the beginning of the decline.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, is that people are trying to sweep for Mang0.
Really?
With all of their might. Because people, you know, when it's Hacks, you know, when Hacks gets up there and he gives his kind of like totalitarian kind of like stiff spiel, people don't like that. It doesn't resonate with people. But when you have Goofy Mang0 getting up there being like, "Oh, that's just the Mang0. I'm doing my thing, man."
Yeah.
You know, everyone comes out of the woodwork. They're like, "Oh, dude, Mang0, you're gonna get through this. You're my goat. You're my goat." They can't let go of this vision they have of Mang0 and actually hold him accountable for what he's done in the broader context of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. I wonder if we. So this is something that is it's why I think this Mango thing is polarizing is because I think he should be unbanned. I think there should be term limits on bans, and I think he should be unbanned. And it's a hypocritical move, and it's very unfair to everybody else who was banned, and there is no unban.
Mhm.
I mean, consider everybody else who was unbanned for something that's much less severe has no terms to get unbanned. They're all permanently banned.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly my point. Is
yeah,
the
and so
people who
this guy you're gonna unban. That seems
Mhm.
very unfair. However, there should be term limits. So it's like, well, I want there to be term limits, and for the sake of the game, he should be unbanned. But then this is just a massive. It feels like he's a part of the inside. He's a part of the inner circle. He's allowed to do what he wants. I mean, what Mango did is pretty severe, right?
Yeah.
That like I don't think people realize like how severe that is. I
Mhm.
was very against the mass ban wave in 2020. I thought a lot of that was overblown, and I think this is severe. I mean,
It's
this is
bad.
way worse than people realize. Like I don't think he did anything necessarily that harmed anybody. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think he physically touched anybody. The people he did that to, in a way, you could argue, well, they're personalities, they're actors, effectively. They're
Mm.
they're not public. They're public figures. I mean, it's like maybe you could argue that that it's less severe than it was to a random person, but I mean, especially for the what the Smash community supports, this is like on their highest level of offenses.
No,
This
he
is.
really did break it. He broke like the one thing you can't do. Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot
like
of things
I
you
mean,
can't
I don't
do, but
understand how this is excusable. I mean, 6 months it seems absolutely egregious.
Mhm.
1 year seems too little again for the Smash community standards. 1 year seems low. I think there should be term limits, but again, it just highlights how unfair this is. How many people are going to
Yeah.
unfollow Mango in the next year because of this?
Well,
It's
that's dude, if the trajectory if the sweeping continues like it has been, it's seeming like what people want to do. And cuz dude, I've watched people on Twitter who are burned down the Smash community.
yeah.
Fuck all these people. I've watched
Mhm.
them flip on Mango. I've watched them flip and go, "Oh, well, now's the time for good term limits on bans and it's time to welcome him back." But the issue with that, Mech is still banned.
I know, like what
Shizwiz
the hell?
is still banned. So it's like in your in your mind it's like why is it how are you going to support Mango being unbanned and push people like Shizwiz and Mech to the side
Yeah.
who have done far less egregious things, and they're willing to drop the entire narrative that they have that there is nepotism and it's unfair. I swear, dude, something about Mango hypnotizes these people.
Oh yeah.
Like people just love Mango. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's a
I
social icon. I mean, he's
yeah.
extremely charismatic. He's extremely
Mhm.
charismatic. The
Yeah.
guy's personality and lifestyle, in my opinion, is abhorrent. I mean, this guy's he's like a lifetime alcoholic. I mean, he's extremely lucky that Melee got big at all because he doesn't have anything going for him like at all. I mean,
Yeah.
besides
I think
Twitch.
I think he said he'd be dealing drugs if it weren't for Melee. I think is
It's
what he said.
and even if yeah, I mean, it's just what is he gonna he doesn't have anything, so I don't think Mango is like somebody to look up to or to somebody to like take
Yeah.
his word as like um to
And you're
necessarily
yeah.
respect his
You
position.
can't take his word because it's not, even with the hack stuff, right? You could just say, "Oh, well, all the top level players turned a night of hacks and it was a big mistake. Maybe we can move on." Mango specifically, there's more dirt on Mango. So I don't know. Are you familiar with the West Balls situation?
No, I'm
What happened to West Balls?
no.
So
Westballs
basically
is
what
another Mango.
happened
I respect Westballs. I liked him a lot as a player.
mm.
That guy honestly is such a degenerate.
Well,
I play Falco. I was a huge fan of
I'm a
Falco.
diehard West Balls fan.
Yeah, right. Me too.
May-
Me too as a player.
Maybe West Balls hypnotism works on me in a different
I think that
way.
was the problem,
Mangoes
man.
does not
I
affect
think
me.
that was the problem that happened in 2013 to 2017. There was too much attention and too much these people's personalities that they just got rewarded and not punished for this like kind of degenerate behavior, and it like nobody ever stepped in and said, hey, you're an adult, you need to act like an adult and stop doing this. And
Right.
we're I don't think we're seeing the consequences. I'm curious about this Westball situation, but
Yeah. Well, what don't you like about him, if you don't mind me asking?
I think the guy is a jackass. He's just extremely disrespectful and rude and childish. And I met him in person.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask.
I mean, there was a night I slept over at a party, or at a not a party. It was a tournament, and I was, we all of us like slept in the same room. He was just making fun of this guy the entire night, just ripping on him all day. And and the guy admittedly was like autistic and a weirdo. I mean, I'm not I'll concede that I was laughing at him too. I mean, I was part of it. We all were. But in hindsight, I was in the wrong. I shouldn't have been laughing at him. And Westballs was the one instigating it. And I think that, I'm just taking that one night and applying it over like a 6-7 year career. And, look at how much, just look at the behavior of a lot of these guys. I mean, that Mang0 crowd. I mean, it's like is Mang0 the guy you would want to watch your children? Like, if you needed somebody to watch your kids, are you going to ask Mang0? No. Are you going to ask Mang0 to win a Melee tournament? Okay. I mean, like, if he's drinking, probably not, but like, I mean, the guy's he's a cannonball. He's a firecracker. Like, maybe he'll win the tournament, or maybe he'll just not even show up. But anyway, what were you gonna show me about the Westball thing?
Yeah. So basically, the franchise made a very good video on this situation. But what happened? Mang0's wife Lauren lied about Westball's groping her at a tournament.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So then Westball's, I don't remember, he was banned from Genesis, but the entire community ragged on him.
Right, yeah,
everyone was talking shit. It was fuck Westballs. And Westballs, he had to go through a depressive period. He talked about it on stream, like it was very dark for him when the Melee community treated him this way. I think it's part of why he's so sympathetic to hacks.
Yeah, I remember defending him actually when this happened.
Yeah.
I'll stand by that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, what happened to Westballs was so fucked because it was. Yeah, it was provably false. And Mang0 put out a tweet. He's like, Westballs, you've been sketched for a long time. I'm gonna DM you about this privately.
Which is true. Sorry, I interrupted you, but what did
you say?
Yeah,
no, for sure. Yeah, he said you've been sketched for a long time, and like I don't trust you. I think he said I don't trust you around my girlfriend or something like that. And then Mang0 never even reached out to DM Westballs. He just swept it under the rug.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. So it's one thing. Westballs even granted him this. He's like, okay, Mang0 can't. Yeah, he said Mang0 can't call. He can't call his girlfriend on his bullshit because he's got a kid, and it's gonna fuck up his life. So Westballs even had the courtesy to grant him that. But when you combine this with the hack situation, it seems to me that Mang0 does not care about anyone but himself as far as reputation and finances in the Smash community. Everyone else can get fucked. He's not going to stand up for anyone where there's injustice, even though he's like the #1 Melee player. And he's just going to get his bag and fence it. So it's really caught up to him.
I think so too. He's a fence sitter on politics, because Mang0, if you look at his lifestyle, you would think he would go one direction in politics, and he's always just kind of sad in the middle. So
yeah,
as for my political background, like that's something that I've never talked about, but you just notice it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
you could see.
Fan. Yeah, you could take a wager. You could take a pretty good wager of probably what he actually thinks.
I wonder. I mean, he's pretty good at fence sitting. He's pretty good, and you never know. He made a lot of risks. I mean, I think Mang0's done good things for the community in the game. Actually, I give Mang0 a lot of credit because I think he's done a lot for the game that other top players did not do. I mean, ppmd is a good example of this, and I think ppmd, I guess you could give him credit because he had these health issues, but Mang0 has had so many excuses or potential excuses to not play Melee, but he's continued to play it throughout the years, and it's made him look bad. It's made him look like a bad player. It's made him look way worse than he really was at his peak, and but he keeps playing through it, and most people don't. Most people, when they slump a little bit, they quit. So I think he does deserve a lot of credit for holding the game together. The past few years, especially past 5 years, during COVID, I think Mang0 has done a lot of good for the game. So
I
give
completely
him
agree
credit
with
there.
that.
But
And like
anyway,
yeah, I've been a long time Mang0 fan as well, you know what I mean? I'm a Falco player,
Oh, right,
obviously.
right.
I like Mang0. But my issue is that when the corruption and the bias is so on display for everyone to see, and he's carrying himself in this way that's sort of like, a lack of respect for what happened to Hacks, like how he's treating his band. He's very silent on all those issues. What it makes me think is it's like, I can't really respect Mang0 as a person in that
Right.
regard. You know what I mean? You can
Absolutely.
play a lot of Melee. You can put a lot of time into the community. You can do a lot of good things, but at the end of the day, it's like you can be as good at Melee as you want, but like you didn't stand up for people in these situations where they got fucked over, and now you're getting fucked over, and you're expecting this perfect little treatment with no respect for what happened to these other people that are even still banned
Yeah,
and
I
still have their
agree.
reputations harmed.
I agree. It's weird. I mean, the reason I think Mang0 should like, I've always had the decision that nobody should be banned unless they are physically or even verbally violating someone else at an event. In my opinion,
Mhm.
you absolutely should ban people that are making events an issue. But any kind of beef or opinions, any of that, I don't think it's an issue. Just let
No.
everybody be mad at each other. It makes the tournaments way more interesting. Makes them way
Oh
more
yeah.
fun. The people try harder. I've always been taking that attitude. But so Mang0 did violate somebody at a tournament, not at an event though. I mean,
Yeah.
multiple
Multiple
people.
people.
You should be banning this guy permanently. I mean, 100% should be permanently banned. And I don't know. We'll see. What did you have to show us? I was curious about that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna touch on these Westballs tweets real quick because they're pretty based. Just remember,
Wow.
Hack was banned for a video that he deleted and apologized for years. Never humped random people at events. That's a slam dunk from Weston Dennis.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, I mean he really cooked him. Imagine this being hard for people to say at the time. Free Hacks because no one else has the balls.
Yeah, good.
So
Wow.
fucking real Hacks.
I like Weston as a person. I do think he's immature, but I've always liked the guy. I support these tweets a lot. I think this is refreshing to see.
No,
Maybe
yeah,
people were
Westball's been
afraid.
doing a lot of good.
Yeah, maybe people were afraid of getting canceled if they said anything about Hacks. So top players were just keeping their mouths shut. But that kind of shows a lack of character. You think? I think so.
Exactly. That ties in actually perfectly to this other clip that I have pulled up. That I had pulled up. Yeah, this one. So this is Zain
Oh, I remember
on a
this one.
podcast. Yeah, you saw this? I'm gonna let it play out then.
Before I let you out of here though, one more thing, one last thing. Can I get a free Hacks?
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. Get out of here. I'm not trying to get you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's
Yeah,
a
this is just so sick. I can't even watch it.
It's a
Like,
joke. I can't make a joke. That's crazy. I'll see you later, man. Get out of here before you get canceled.
it just feels like the Smash community are like, they're so scared of losing their sponsorships or their fame or their Twitter following or something. I don't even know. Like, they're so
Yeah.
scared. They're just like, nobody has balls to say anything, dude. In any other scene, any other community, any other game that's not one of these terminally online Twitch communities, people say worse stuff all the time. People are controversial all the time. It's everywhere. It's constantly. It's always been like this in the world, all over the world. But in these weird Twitch niches, it's like they're not allowed to say anything. They don't want to offend anyone or anything, and there's no controversy at all. They're afraid of controversy. But I mean, much of the world runs on controversy. Like, I don't see. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in the real world the past 2 years, not online, and I can't find anywhere that is as mollified as Twitch communities, is as soft and is as like it's built like a daycare. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean.
And it's weird that this whole clip paints really a picture that can't be captured anymore. Just how much tension there was around the subject at the time. Like, why would it be so hard for Zain as a top player to give his
Yeah.
personal opinion
Yeah.
on why Hacks is banned. Why did it have to be this whole joke where like he freaks out and leaves the call? You know what I mean? Like it really, I mean, it is like you asked him about like Palestine and Israel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that
no
would.
one wants to get into that shit.
Well, that's such a good point. If I were asked that, like, let's say I was a neutral Smash player and I was rank 1 at the time, or maybe rank 2, but let's just say he's rank 1. He's a good player, and I was very neutral. I mean, Zane's brand is how neutral he is. I think. If somebody asked me like, "Hey, do you support like gun rights or something?" It's like, "Whoa, wait a minute, man. Where did that come from?" Like, I don't even want to go into that.
Yeah.
Not related to the game. I would agree with it. Don't say anything. Just shut up. But you see in other communities, like look at like the UFC for example. You'll see they're way more political than anybody on Twitch, and it's like, and they are often reprimanded, but people don't care. People move on. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think the Twitch community is just it's so soft. It kind of shocks me. And I mean, the hacks thing is related to the game, and look at the outcome. I mean, this podcast is basically on it. I mean, this episode, the outcome of this was like it was a worst case scenario, but it wasn't a far fetched case. So why can't Zayn in that spot say, "Look, you know what? I'm not gonna laugh about it. I'm gonna address it seriously." And
Yeah.
we
And
should
this is
open a discussion.
this is before he passed, just so you're
No,
aware.
yeah. But still, I
Yeah.
mean, I think Zayn should say in that spot, "Look, I think we should open a public discussion for it. Why can't he say that? Because it is a
Yeah.
Smash issue. It's not a political
Or
issue."
yeah, even the most neutral response, he could have just been like, "Oh yeah, like I think Hacks is a good person, and I don't know a lot about that side." You know what I mean? He could have give like the most milk toast opinion
Yeah.
possible. He could have fenced that, but like that reaction, like I said, it's so telling of how they were treating this issue at the time. When it makes no sense from an outside perspective why it would be
You're
so
right.
controversial.
You're right. You're right. Let me rephrase what you said in my own words so I can understand that better. I think what you said is golden. It's like it seems like they totally didn't underestimated the weight of the situation and like the consequences. And like looking at it from an outside perspective, it's like gross, and it's like, but when you're because they were in on it, or they were in on the inside of it, and it built up over time. I mean, this didn't happen overnight. This went on for years, like 4 years or something.
Yeah.
Probably longer than that, but it went on for 4 years. So it's like it slowly built up. I think nobody really surveyed the gravity of what was going on in Hax's mind behind the scenes and how unfair this was. And you and you're right. I watched that clip just now, and it's like they don't care. Do you know when this clip was? I remember it's 2023, but do you remember when?
Yeah, this specific clip, I'm not 100%
I
sure.
thought it was 2023. May have been last year, but I think it was 2023.
That
May
sounds
have even
right.
been 2022, but yeah, it feels like they don't care. They're not really taking it seriously, and
Yeah.
it's just that is strange. I mean, it's like it's not a cult. I don't think the Melee community is a cult, but it does almost seem like a
I would call it a bubble.
yeah, bubble.
They were in
Yeah,
this
that's a perfect.
bubble, and then it popped. They had all
Yeah.
these rules and all these social things that worked within the bubble, and then it popped, and now everyone's on blast.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, I think you're 100% on the money there. I think that is a really I never considered that. I've never heard anybody say that. I think it's absolutely right.
Yeah, that's a big reason I wanted to do this podcast, is because there's so many nuances that you have to talk about that you can't really capture in like, a tweet. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, like, really, it is. The more you think about the situation, the more you watch, it only gets worse. You know what I mean? Especially, look, I mean, Zayn was talking about this guy. You know what I mean? This is who Zayn refused to stand up for. You know what I mean? This guy groveling on his hands and knees to get let back into the community to have money.
It's weird. I mean, yeah, it's really weird, man. I'm like, this situation, this hack story, And I'm hoping, and I mean, I'm making a plea right now to our viewers that agree with us. I think don't stop talking about this. Like, keep up the pressure, keep up speaking out about it. And I'm not asking you guys to brigade anybody or like harass anybody, but I think speaking up about it and really assessing what happened and like really seeing it for what it was, I think it's worth it. And I think the situation is compelling because I think it's very compelling. I don't think it's not like a freak accident. It's not, I think it's very compelling, and I think it should go on. This needs to keep going on. I mean, I think the truth needs to get out there, and I'm curious. I think the technicals video is there's a lot more. There's got to be more to the story, but
Yeah,
right,
the
talk so
technicals
much,
it did a really good job of covering a lot, and like I
Yeah.
said, that's another big reason I wanted to do this podcast is because you can't even capture all of it in a YouTube video. You know what I mean? Like, you
Uh-huh.
really have to break it down. Like, look at someone's action and go like, okay, like, what caused this? You know what I mean? Like, what would cause someone to react this way that's so unnatural about a situation that should be so like important for people on a human level?
Yeah, it's like there's no humanity in these people's reactions to it. Like, even the Mang0 clips, I saw a few of them before this. We haven't seen them yet. It just doesn't seem like there's any humanity in him regarding the situation. I mean, when I played Melee back in most of my career, I mean, I never felt that at all. I always felt like there was a lot of humanity, and the human always came before the game. I always felt like that. I'm not seeing. You just don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And that's the big reason why I think the Melee community is going to just die
Yeah.
straight up, is because that was, I remember like watching Melee and getting into it. That was so crucial, like the magic of the game. Like, everyone loves the game. The community's so great. You know, everyone's just here to play Smash. You know,
Yeah,
we
just
love
so
Smash, and like no one's out. I mean, there really was like, you know, I hate to sound corny, but there was something magical about it. Like, there really was something about like all these different personalities, and now it's
Oh, it
like
was amazing,
you
man.
can't there's like a stain on all of the personalities because you realize it's like, okay, like everyone was out for themselves in this community that supposedly cared about each other.
Yeah, right. Everyone was out for themselves. That's what it feels like. It wasn't like that. The last time I went to a tournament was in 2017. I continued to watch tournaments up until 2020. I didn't really watch much of the online tournaments. I didn't think it was serious. I've started watching more and more recently. Like, I've been in school the past few years, so it's like it was a low priority. But I didn't realize, like, I've missed a lot of this. I've been on the periphery on Twitter and on Twitch, but I missed a lot of the meat of what's happening in the community. I mean, I didn't know viewership was like, it's way like this last tournament. I made a tweet that, I don't know, it didn't get 2,000 likes, but it got a lot, like at least 500,000. It just like looking at 10 years of Melee viewership.
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, the last tournament, this was a big summer tournament, biggest tournament of all time. And it had like barely any. I mean, it just felt like a local from 10
Yeah,
years
I
ago.
wanna see the numbers.
Yeah, so I mean, I made this image, and if you look on the far right, that line, that was the most recent supernova. This tournament had the largest viewership of all time, or largest entries, most entrants of all time. So they wanted to make it the largest tournament of all time, and they were pushing entrants. So I think it was free entry. Like, they were just spamming, please enter, please enter. So that's why it had the most entrants of all time. That's also why 28% of people just didn't show up, because I mean, they just were. It's just all on the surface.
Yeah, it's like, why not?
Yeah, it's just all on the surface. But when you look at viewership, which I think reflects what's actually going on, this was the summer major. This was like the summer major. Maybe there's gonna be, usually there's like a big house like end of summer.
Yeah, that would be like 27,000 or something right
Yeah,
there.
maybe this was the big house. I think it peaked at 36, like very briefly, or 33, very briefly.
Yeah,
But
that is relatively low.
Yeah, look at the rest of the history. I mean, how many times, and this is 10 years, but still, like, how many times did this beat it or totally eclipse it? And again, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, let's just say I had 35,000, just for argument's sake. I mean, still, you know, locals were getting 5, 10,000, like the good locals back in the day.
Yeah, like
And
Xanadu and
I
shit.
mean, Evos were getting 200 plus, 150.
That was a long time
Genesis
ago.
and the big bi-yearly tournaments were getting minimum 100K, 75K, and it was growing every year. It's growing, and I was shocked by it. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Especially because, you know, I could look at this graph and be like, okay, maybe it's on a slight climb,
Yeah.
but you know, I mean, for this to be hyped up as the biggest Smash tournament of all time and
Yeah,
have it be
like,
this, I mean, yeah, like what does that mean for the rest of the
also,
tournaments
I know,
if
like,
the one they gassed up
after
the
this
most
line,
did so shit?
what do we think's gonna be after this line? Are we gonna get another 75 hitter, or is
Yeah, I
this
mean,
gonna be it?
I think we're gonna see with all the sponsorships and everyone pulling out of Smash as well.
Oh my god!
You're gonna see major after major shutting down. It's gonna be super. I think Super Smash Con even was like the last one, or they're doing their last
Yeah,
one.
it was Supernova at Super Smash Con.
Okay.
It's like
Gotcha.
it wasn't a small tournament. This is a very well known tournament.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see all like the Gommels and like all the big majors. Like even like when the community was doing well, like Pound had to shut down. I remember I was like,
Wow,
oh shit, I can't go to Pound, and
dude.
now
I
it's like I
mean,
don't think I'm going to anything ever.
I don't know what where we should. We have to talk about this. I I've been we might be right now, but we might talk about it later. But the future of Smash. I mean, where is it going from here? Because I have some really spicy thoughts on that. But
Technicals gave a very glowing review about Hungrybox. He talked about
right, that's
Hungrybox
what
is the
I
only one
understood.
who really feels bad about the situation. So he goes to Hax's funeral. You know, I'm not gonna shit on anyone paying their respects. You know, God bless him for even going and caring about his friend.
Uh-huh.
But he made a promise at the funeral in front of Hax's mother. He said, you know, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that nothing like this ever happens again in the Smash community.
Okay.
And he did a stream where he cried again and talked about it. He's like, guys, we need to fix this shit from the inside. And at
Yeah,
first
agree.
I was on the HBox train. I was like, HBox actually knows what he's talking about. He knows what happened to the band players is unjustified and that leadership is unfair. And now he has
Yeah.
promised to
Good.
reform. And like I said, I'm gonna I'll give him credit with the Hacks situation even earlier on. Like he let Hacks participate in his events. You know, you could tell he had his back as a homie, but he really dropped the ball on his promise.
Really?
So Mech put out a video after he saw HBox's stream where he said he was willing to help band players. He said, "Hey, you know, I'm willing to mediate any discussion of any situation with band players and mediate a conversation where you have beef and try to get you back into the community." So Mech put out a video. He's like, HBox, help me. You have to let me play. I want to play Ganondorf. And this is his response. Hey Mech, saw your video and messages and wanted to respond here. It's taken me a few days to gather my thoughts about this, so I appreciate your patience. After I offered to mediate community issues in memory of Hacks, I've had people reach out to me asking me to use my platform as a beacon for their voices. My original intent was to provide a safe space for honest dialogue, especially with those willing to take responsibility for past actions and their impact. My hope was that we could move forward together and prevent further harm. I also understand people are threatening to harm you at this moment, which I condemn. However, after speaking to others, I realized very recently that I'm not equipped to handle this kind of role, especially when it comes to speaking for marginalized communities or those who have experienced harm. It requires a level of maturity, kindness, and experience that I honestly don't have and am still learning. Trying to act as a mediator, I would instead be making some voices louder than others, and I don't believe I should have that level of authority over community issues, including who we consider good or bad and who should be forgiven. I spoke from a place of grief, and you know, he's like, I'm sorry, all this, all that. But let's break down what happened. Hungrybox has this revelation. He's saying, "Oh my God, Hacks is dead, and it's the fault of how we acted as the community. We need change. We're gonna go in and we're gonna fix this. I'm gonna talk to all these band players. We're gonna sort out differences, and everyone can play Melee just like how we used to." That was his plan. And he even said in the stream where he was crying, he said, "I was scared and I should have spoke up for him." So he knows that he would have gotten shit for speaking up for Hacks. He knows that that was a consequence, and it is the reason that he did not speak up for Hacks was because of the backlash he would get back from the community for his personal opinion. So you would think after having that revelation, you would stick to your guns, but unfortunately what happened is that after he offered to mediate with Mech, he got spammed by everyone on Twitter, and they said, "HBox, you're letting these evil people into the community. Don't trust them. All this, all that." I'm sure he got brigaded by the entire community. And he dropped his guns. He didn't stick to his word after all the theatrics. And he said, I'm actually, I know I'm in my 30s, but I'm not mature enough to mediate a conversation. I know that all these political issues should not have a place in the actual Smash community, and we should all just be able to play the game together, but I've decided to pussy out and not take any of the backlash.
I know
So,
that.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it seems like nothing is going to be done. I mean, this is why the Smash community, I think, should be burned down, and I'm hoping the loss in viewership and follows continues. Now we've seen
yeah,
so many people quit. I think it's inevitable, but nothing's going to be
I
done.
mean,
Nothing's going to be fixed. Talking about the death of Smash, I don't know, did you have something to say about that, or?
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, he says that he doesn't feel equipped to do it. He doesn't feel he should have that role in the community of deciding. But like, if someone who's been there for the entirety of the community with a platform isn't willing to do it, then who is?
Yeah, who's gonna do it?
He's Yeah. I mean, who's the other? Who's the big boss? Like, who's the guy that people got to talk to make changes? I mean, he really did drop the ball.
Yeah, I think the only person that could do it is like if one of the TOs from the inside today, but I don't think they ever will.
Yeah.
I think the Melee community is going to just slowly deplete. This happened to speedrunning, and speedrunning took a huge hit because the ads on Twitch are horrible. Way too many of them. They interrupt the stream, and for like just chatting nonsense, I think it's bad, but it's not as bad. For speedrunning, it's really bad, and the speedrunning scene has just completely fallen off a cliff since 2020.
Yeah, the
It's like
bottom fell out.
almost every game is completely dead. Nobody watches it at all. People who used to stream are streaming to half of the viewers and like a tenth of the chat interaction. I mean, nobody
Yeah.
talks. It's hard to talk to your viewers, and a freaking 3-minute ad pops up. It's like they just leave.
Yeah.
It's just it's slowly falling off a cliff, and speedrunning's always had leadership issues. Always had leadership issues. It's always had censorship issues. I mean, in 2020, how many people got banned on leaderboards for just nonsense reasons? Same thing that happened in Smash.
Anonymous.
Yeah, I mean, go to any of the forums, go to any of the more like legacy forums in speedrun.com. Half the users are banned, and it's like, why? You look into it. Some of them are legitimate reasons. I mean, I made videos on it. I supported some of the bans. I think some of the bans weren't enough. I think they needed to do more than the ban, but most of them were just nonsense. I mean, it was just false allegations. Like some of the more egregious bans in speedrunning, like one guy was like arguing with his girlfriend, and then they broke up, and it was kind of it was kind of heated. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, have you ever? I think every bad relationship is like that. I've never.
Yeah,
like,
it's overreach.
It's always overreach. Every relationship that breaks up is usually heated. I mean, it's like, how is that not? But the guy got banned for that. It's like, you got what? Like, is that real? I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's like that would happen a lot. That's just crazy. But what happened when that kept happening is people would leave the scene. The viewers would leave the scene. The runner would leave the scene. Other runners aren't going to speak up because they might get banned. I mean, let's assume Hungrybox is a neutral actor. There are a lot of neutral actors in the scene that don't want to talk. I mean, I genuinely believe Zain is a neutral actor.
Mhm.
And he was at the time of that clip, but like, if Mech is getting banned and the Bronson or the Bible Warrior and West Balls, all these players are getting banned for like these trivial reasons, other people aren't going to talk about it. And if there's no financial incentive and it's not fun, they leave. And so
Yeah.
you already saw that in the speedrunning community. You already
Mm-hmm.
saw the community collapse and everybody left. And there's no money in speedrunning. There's no sponsorships.
Mhm.
There's no events to go to.
Oh my gosh, dude.
There's
There's so
nothing.
many. We're gonna have to do like a few episodes of this show because the speedrunning shit we could get into, dude. Oh my
No,
gosh.
it's egregious, but it's a very good parallel to Melee, man, and it's almost like looking into the future of what's. I think it's inevitable in Melee. Like, nobody in the Melee community, and I think it's interesting that people, at least people are addressing this hack thing. Oh, it happened. At least they're addressing that this happened, and at least like Hungrybox on some level says, "I want things to change." Nothing's gonna change. It seems
Mhm.
like there's no TO. Nobody's gonna make any changes in order to fix these issues, right?
Yeah.
But nobody in the Melee scene is saying, "Hey, what can we do to make our scene bigger?" And that conversation have started 5 years ago, because I
Yeah.
think this is a slow bleed, and I think it's like a slow bleed. We just fell off a cliff, and from here
Mhm.
it's a straight downhill. Because in Melee, nobody did that in speedrunning over the past 5-7 years. Nobody ever once said, there's not a single person who has any political strength or has any has a voice. Nobody in speedrunning who has a voice. I mean, except me, but I don't really speedrun anymore. Nobody has said we need to increase viewership on average. We need more speedrunners and we need higher viewership. I've never heard that in my life. Because the speedrunning scene, much like the Melee scene, has this super large viewer base kind of gifted to them in 2013. And
Yeah.
they just kind of take it for granted. They just kind of always assumed, oh, there's always a viewer base. There's always people who want to play. There's always,
Yeah.
so if we ban this guy, whatever. It's not the case anymore. If you ban
Yeah, because
somebody,
none of mhm.
well, I'm saying,
Yeah,
if you
none of
ban
these people
somebody,
have like. Sorry, go ahead.
if you ban, I'll be done here in a second. If you ban somebody, there is nobody else to replace them. You're just down a player and all their viewers. And if you ban 10 people, it's a significant impact. And you're looking
Yeah.
at games are dying. I mean, almost every top game is irrelevant, and it's like it's held up by one streamer. But if that streamer's not streaming or it quits the game for whatever reason, which is inevitable, the game's out,
Yeah.
game's done. And I mean, I think you're going to see the exact same thing in Melee. And when Mang0 comes back, it'll slightly peak up. But then people are going to be mad about it. They're going to be, why is he unbanned and this guy's not unbanned? And then it's just going to continue. People are going to bleed out, and you're going back to 2008.
Yeah.
188 man major. Whoa, 88 people. It's like a huge deal.
Well, another aspect of this shit is that, like, part of it is that, like, part of the agreement, like, let's say you want to be a top level Melee player, you already have to invest all these hours, all this grind, like all this matchup studies, and you're trying to like build a stream and a career for yourself. You're this far along, and all of a sudden you have these stipulations forced on you where you need to think a certain way. And you need to respond a certain way, and it's like, okay, well, I could go like get a job and ditch the thing that I've invested all this time into, and like, all this skill, or I could suck it up and say, kick it. I mean, it's really selling out. It's selling out to be a top level Melee player at this point.
Selling out for no money too. There's no money in the scene anymore. All the sponsors left.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Why are you even selling out at that point? Like, I don't. It's like, I'd rather just get a job and play the game and say what I want to say. Like, at that point, I mean, like, that's what I think.
Yeah, you're only gonna have people, either the people with streams, like obviously like Hungrybox and even Mang0, all those Zain, like all the top guys who already have a stream are gonna be fine. But as far as new people who are in this economy, who are willing to put that much time into the game, and like you said, people who are going to think in a way that grows the game and improves the community already de-incentivizes you to think that way, to think in a way of growth and welcoming people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, everything's fucked.
I mean,
You know, I mean,
if
there's
I
really
ran the
nothing they can
speedrunning
do.
scene, there's like 10 things I would change overnight to create growth in the speedrunning. Like immediately 10 things I would do to create growth. And I think you would absolutely see growth. And in the melee scene, I think you could do a similar thing, but it's like they just won't. And they never will. And you know, I've been very outspoken. I was talking about politics earlier. I've been very outspoken because I think there's a political element that's involved in here that is driving a lot of this negativity. Now, it's not related to the game, so it's like I don't want to bring it up here. And I think there's a debate there, but there's a lot of things you can do to like keep things stable. And I think in like speedrunning, for example, is okay. What like we need to get new people to play the games and run the games. We need to constantly rotate people in because people are quitting. Like if somebody's playing the game, they're not valuable as a customer.
Mhm.
In the same sense that somebody's not playing the game. Now, I mean that's not true, but like that's unfortunately that's how companies see people. Companies
Yeah.
are always growing. Melee community, in some level, needs to act like a company, and you know, be a little bit unfair, be a little bit mean and dry, and see people as numbers. Hey, it's not.
Mhm.
I wish it wasn't like that, and I don't like seeing people as numbers. But it's either you see people as numbers for a little bit, or your game dies and you have 25 people attending. You know,
Yeah.
your like West Coast tournament. Like, which one is it? Or like, I
Yeah,
mean,
like it
I don't remember back in 2009, 2010 even, like you were lucky if a melee tournament was not tagged along on a brawl tournament. And you just
Mhm.
groaned about these brawl, and the brawl tournaments were bigger. Like the brawl
Yeah.
tournaments were bigger, and the melee people were just they had needed to host a tournament somewhere. They would just
Mhm.
tag along, and the melee people hated that. We hated the brawl people. We hated the brawl crowd.
Yeah.
It was like enormous once the tide started to shift and melee was the bigger game, because we knew our game was better and long term it had way more potential. So it's like once it became the bigger game, it was I felt like it was just upward growth. And it was so
Mhm.
dead at that point. It's all upward growth. But when it was smaller than Brawl, it just felt humiliating, and like you know that's just how it was for so long. And like I think the melee community, because back then every player, I started playing melee. I learned the wave dash. I was 12 or 13. This was in
Mhm.
2005, maybe 2006. Interestingly, the video I learned, which is whack 42 or whack 04, I can't remember. He made a advanced techniques tutorial video. It's still on YouTube. Has this
Classic.
like cool techno music, dance music.
Yeah.
I loved it. I learned all the techniques overnight. I tried to learn them. I went to a tournament. I mean, there wasn't where I live. There really aren't any tournaments, but um, yeah, I tried to attend all the tournaments I could. I think I attended my first one. I was in ninth grade. Um, got on Smash boards again. I was never really active. Once Brawl came out, the scene died. But then in 2010, I got back into it, and I watched the '09 tournaments. I watched Genesis one. Genesis 2 I saw live actually. Although I didn't realize it's a big deal. No, yeah, I didn't realize it's a big deal because I just got back into the scene. Um, but I did watch it live, and it's only in hindsight I realized like how significant that a tournament was. But back then, everybody's brain was like focused on growth, even in the periphery. It was like we need to grow the scene. We need to get
Mhm.
people into the scene, and everybody's super valuable. Like at a local, let's say like 60. Let's say like a local had 20 people, which is a lot. At least 8 of those people didn't play competitively, or they were just kind of having fun. And it was like,
Mhm.
well, and then like 10 people were like really motivated, right? 12 people. It's like so everybody was super valuable. Even those normies, like the kid and his dad, super valuable. Like we needed that, so we would do everything we could. Everybody's on their best behavior. Everybody's everything could do. That's gone. I feel like that's just not a thing, and that needs to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think? I
No,
mean,
100%. Yeah, I mean that it it's true for both melee and speedrunning that there's a lot of factors at play. Like obviously there's the mismanagement of the community. There's also just like the age demographic as well.
oh right,
'Cause you know, like back then like the peak of melee is like when it was like guys your age like getting into it and like everyone was like psyched about it. And then, you know, you got people my age who are like what, like you know, I always like kept up with it and like speed running and like I got into it through Slippy and shit. But you know,
yeah,
I think it's an old game
yeah,
and people are like growing up and getting lives. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like there's not, you know, the age demographic of Melee, you know, it's either like all the like really good people retired, younger people are more likely to get into Ultimate or something they're more familiar with. It's just harder to funnel people back in, especially
Yeah.
the way that it is now.
But yeah, you're no. I in fact, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. So I say but I don't mean it. And what I mean is like a lot of those guys who I think were like so instrumental to the explosion, the Melee explosion, and actually just instrumental to the general growth of Melee. Like okay, like people like Prague, D1, and Scar, even Scar, because I know there's been some flack. Scar's getting some flack.
Yeah.
For
Scar,
saying
Scar
hypocritical
for sure
stuff.
was like Scar was like professional level like commentator. Like he could have done sports.
Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah. So, but and I know there's criticism of him saying some hypocritical stuff around hacks, but even people like
Mhm.
that, they were very instrumental in being growth focused. They were all growth focused. Prague, I think, is actually way undercredited because he wanted to quit commentating before 2013, like years before. He was on his way out, and he just kind of stuck around. And in the Evo 2013 crisis where they didn't have the CRTs, you know, it's people like Prague and Blur who, I mean, they're older. They're in their 40s now, I think. They were so instrumental into the growth, like them individually, because they weren't really top players. They weren't
Mhm.
focused on getting good at the game. They weren't focused on playing the game necessarily. Like they played it here and there. I think Prague played Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
They were focused on they were in their post game phase. So they're in where I'm coming from right now. They were in a like, well, I can't play the game and win, but I can still be a tournament organizer or a host or a commentator, or I can just grow
Yeah.
the scene in the periphery. So I think people like that were so instrumental, but they all quit in the past 10 years. They all quit. None of those voices exist anymore. And Wife is another example. He was, I think, very
Mm,
instrumental
for
in
sure.
assisting that explosion in 2013, assisting that. Um, yeah, they're all gone, and the current crop of people that are in their 30s, they're not doing that. They're not taking that role. I mean, you've been very critical of these people. Hungrybox tried taking up that mantle, but he didn't. Mang0,
Mm.
who would be perfect in that role, he's not doing it. He's actually acting like he's 15 still. And then I mean, who else is who? Like nobody, like people like Manalord, I think is a good. Or is it Mech or Manalord that started their tournament series? It must be Manalord, right?
Manalord started it, yeah.
What did Mech start anything? Because I think I'm just getting the names mixed up.
Yeah, Mac is just he played in Manamon,
Okay,
played
yeah,
and he
he
won a
didn't
bunch
start
of
anything.
them.
Then it was Manalord. So Manalord he's an example of a guy that's taking up that role where it's like, well, I'm not the best player in the world. I'm not gonna be. How can I help
Yeah,
the
he's
community
a
grow?
Zelda player.
But he's
Right.
banned. Like this
Mhm.
is destructive
Yeah.
to him, allowing him to help grow the scene. So I think those people leaving the game in a natural way.
Mhm.
The next generation isn't taking their role, and the scene is just collapsing. And I mean, speedrunning is so fragmented. I think speedrunning never had that.
Yeah,
Real,
fragmented is a great word because it's like, you know, there's not one speedrunning game. You know what I mean? It's like you have a spread of like isolated communities and
yeah.
like each one is kind of doing their own thing. And it's like it's just like natural selection. Like obviously Super Mario 64
Yep,
is gonna
fun
be the
game.
big one. I mean, like
Fun
it's a
game to
classic speed
watch.
game, like all speedrunners know. You fucking ran it, right?
I did, but not well. I mean, well, I don't know. I was about as good as Armada at Mario 64. So take that for what you will.
What is he? He's like top 30 or something in 70
Like
star.
I have been so critical of Armada from a speedrunning perspective, but you know, in 2025, he's probably the smasher I respect the most. I think he's brilliant at Melee. He was always brilliant at the game. He
Yeah, his option select was incredible.
yeah, I think he's just brilliant at it, but I'm really critical of him as a speedrunner. I
Dude,
think he retired.
speedrunning is gonna make everyone look bad.
I think he retired.
Like,
I think he just doesn't really care. He just wants to stream. And you know what? Whatever. He's allowed to do that. I think give him a break.
yeah.
I know I love him as a speedrunner. He's one of my favorite runners. I would watch him every day for like 2 years. I watched him play Mario in the morning. It's my favorite activity. So no,
Oh my
I
god,
like
dude.
that guy a lot. I'm so glad he started playing Mario
Yeah.
64.
Isn't it funny? I feel like because speedrunning and Melee are kind of like tangent. There's a lot of crossover with the people who enjoy watching those things. I
Yes.
think
Oh
it's
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
speedrunners who go to Melee have a rough time adapting because they're like, oh shit, like not only do I have to learn this tech, but I have to like anticipate other people. Like you have to play real time
Yeah, they're
mind
very
games with
different. I think
people.
they're very different.
Yeah. So I think speedrunners aren't, they have to adapt to that when they switch, but then Melee players have to adapt to how boring speedrunning is and how awful of a hobby it is.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's kind of funny. Like speedrunners and smashers are horrible at the other hobby, but
Yeah.
they love each other. It's kind of like bikers and runners are absolutely horrible at the opposing hobby, but they love it. So I don't know. I think I love the ecosystem between Smash and speedrunning. You know, in my opinion, if speedrunning had a scene again, like let's say there was like another GDQ 2013, literally as a true speedrunner, I would completely drop all politics overnight. I'd completely clean up my image, delete my backlog, and just become a raw speedrunner again and pretend I never was political because I just do love the hobby so much. And you know, I think it's weird to hear that. I think I think the more Smash dies, the more people are going to become estranged from it and not feel motivated to keep up this image of like perfection. This, you know, they keep up posterity
Mhm.
because there's less money in it. There's less motivation. I mean, you go to your average speedrunner stream with 50 viewers. It's like one person talks a minute if you're lucky. I mean, it's like 5 minutes
Mhm.
will go by, nobody talks, and there's 60 people watching. It's demoralizing as heck. And then on top of that, you have it's just the views are way down. I mean, these people used to get hundreds, thousands, even.
Yeah.
They just get like 20, like 85 viewers. I used to get 2,000, and nobody's
Yeah, like
talking. It's just sad.
it really used to be that like if you were a top player at a game with a big name behind it, you'd get a few hundred viewers by default almost.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just from being a top level Super Metroid or Kingdom Hearts or like, you know, when Link to the Past was popping, like as long if you had a top time in like a game with that sort of what's it called? With that sort of recognition, Mario 64 obviously, like you would just get viewers. Like people just had to tune in to see the top
Absolutely.
level runs.
Absolutely. And there was a
And now it's
community.
yeah.
And you know, speedrunning is weird. There used to be a governing body over the entire thing when Speedruns Live was a thing. There was a
Mhm.
governing body. So I think the fact that that governing body kind of dissipated in like around 2015 or 2016. I mean, by the end of 2016, it just didn't exist at all. Especially the rise of speedrun.com, it totally fragmented into Discord communities. At that point, there was absolutely
Yeah.
no governing body. And now,
That bring that brought back a little nugget of knowledge in my brain.
oh yeah,
I remember Pack, you know Pack, the
yeah,
creator of
yep. He tried to do that.
speedrun.com. Yeah, he put out a tweet. He was like, "Look, guys, we're laying out the new rules for speedrun.com that is every ban off the leaderboard would need to be evaluated by the speedrun.com staff to see if it was justified or
Really, I
not."
didn't know that.
And yeah, and people freaked out on Twitter. And he was basically just like, "Okay, fuck it then. We're not doing it." And then he
Yeah,
sold the
really.
website.
You know, I think Pac is the most misunderstood person in speedrunning, and I talked to him a few times, and we had a pretty hit or miss relationship. But I talked to him a few times, and he retired, and I believe he retired on possibly 8 figures, definitely on 7 figures. That's what I think. Um,
Good for him.
yeah, and he loved the speedrunning community, and he was trying his absolute best to stick around and stay the head admin of speedrun.com. And I think he just got so sick of the trash talk and the belittle entitlement and the
Mhm.
belittling the
Oof, yeah.
negativity around his name, which is unfair. And
The
he's, you know,
entitlement, that's the word right
I
there.
don't know. Again, I don't know how many millions it was. Like, there's no way it was less than a million. Let's just say it was.
Mhm.
Let's say it was 5 million, right? Like, I mean, are you gonna say no to that? The guy,
Yeah.
he knows 9 languages. I mean, he lives in Europe and knows
Oh,
nine. Like, this
wow.
guy's traveling every single. Like, think about it. You're
That's so impressive.
with 29 years old. I don't know how old he was, but let's say you're 29. Someone's offering you 5 million, and unfortunately, he knew it. The speedrunning community would be in a tough spot because the people who came in charge were not really. They weren't all that. Um,
Yeah.
I would do it. I think anybody would do it. I don't think he even made the wrong decision because it's like as you said, he can't even make these rules. Like people are just arguing with him about like even like simple stuff. You know?
And I'm seeing this now as we talk about it. There's a very consistent pattern even between Melee and speedrunning. You have HBox coming in going, guys, there's going to be some changes. He gets blown up on Twitter. Okay, never mind. Pat comes in with speedrunning. He's like, all right, guys, going to be some changes. Gets blown up on Twitter. Okay, fuck you guys, never
Wow,
mind.
you're right, yeah.
And then another example, you know Pace, like the GSA.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar. I
Yeah,
know almost
yeah.
all speedrunning drama. I'm very netted into it.
Yeah, so I love Pace.
Okay.
I went in 2019. I had
Oh
a good
yeah,
time.
I wanted to go to that one. I really did, but I didn't.
Yeah, no, that was a good time.
I should have.
I think
like,
yeah, Pac was actually there.
yeah,
I wish I
would've
wish I
gone.
would have I wish I would have flicked up with him because I had no idea what he looked like, but I heard someone like address him. They were like, "Yo, Pac," and I was like, "Oh, he owns speedrun.com." And then I didn't approach him because I was like, I don't even have anything to talk about.
Yeah, you were young too. You must have been, man. That was like 6 years.
I think I was dude, I was 17. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool, dude.
hmm
I was
Yeah.
20 when Evo 2013. I was 21. Yeah, I just turned 21. I went to that. I met a lot of people there, but I never really built relationships. I met Cosmo. I mean Narcissa now, and then
Uh-huh.
Siglemic. I met both of them there, but again, I never because I was actually a speedrunner at that time. I was one of
Yeah.
a very few speedrunners at that tournament. So I wanted to say hi to them and say, hey, I've started running it, but yeah, it just never happened. I don't know if Trihex. I don't remember Trihex going to the event. I did meet Trihex at a later event, but it was different.
Mm.
Anyway, I just think it's cool that you went to that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, and I'm glad to have that experience in my life too. I was gonna say, what was one of the names you brought up? Oh, Siglemic. Dude, Siglemic is so fucking nice. This ties into Melee too because he used to be in your Discord, your old
Yeah,
Discord.
we talk. Actually, we talk a lot. We still talk.
Yeah.
We live close. No, I don't want to. I'm not trying to dox the guy, but we live pretty close. So like, I don't know. We're the same age. We live close. Link to the Past and Mario 64 were like really close games way back in the day. So when I got
Mhm.
good at Link to the Past, he would watch me, and then I don't know. We just have a lot in common. So we just friends.
Yeah. No, shout outs to him because I was like, I forget why even. I think he was asking people to play Melee in your Discord.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hit him up, and dude, I remember I was so fucking garbage at Melee back then.
Okay.
Like, dude, like I could barely wave dash. Like I could I could short hop laser with Falco. That was my go-to. But like, yeah, he kicked my ass. But he played a few games with me, and he was so nice about it. He didn't really have to, but yeah, shout outs.
I'm glad you brought him up. He's banned from Oregon Melee. This is related
Why?
to. So this is related to the larger topic, which I'm glad you brought this up. Why is he
Oh my
banned?
gosh.
There's no reason. It's just one of these vague. You didn't do what we liked, and you don't. Oh, actually, no. I do know why he's banned, but in reality, it's just one of these like vague justifications. It's a permanent ban. He was banned, I think, in must have been 2022. I believe he was banned, but he was banned because of COVID, and he did not get vaccinated. And
Oh.
the Oregon scene didn't like that, so once they found out, they permanently banned him.
Permaban, dude.
Permanently
You
banned.
don't even have to be vaxxed anymore.
I know, like
That's
right now, nobody
crazy,
cares.
dude.
like this is crazy, right? Right now, nobody cares, but he's still banned for that.
Bro, that's
I
what
just can't do
that's
it, man.
that's what we gotta lead with now, man. Like, we're not talking about any of the other banned players. You're gonna be like, you're really gonna let Mang0 get unbanned before Siglemic?
You know, it's even
Get
worse
all
than
get
that,
all
dude.
the speedrun people over.
I mean, I don't. I'm not trying to. I don't want to. I'm not trying to like leak personal life. His personal life is not in an ideal spot.
Mm.
Very similar to Hacks. It's not in a good spot, and it bothers him that he can't play the game. He still plays the game. Like, he still plays online and stuff. You know, he's not going to quit playing the game. But it affects him socially. It's isolation.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Hacks.
It's affecting him now that he's banned.
Of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. And it's
has he appealed at all?
Every day I feel like hundreds of times. I mean, these people
this is a bombshell, dude. I had no idea.
Yeah, he's not even bad at the game. Like I mean, if like before I mean, I know they banned him, but he probably would be on the PR right now if he was unbanned. I mean, if not on the PR.
Yeah, especially playing for that long. I mean, shit, yeah, got to be up there.
He loves the game. He loves playing the game. He's been playing the game he's been playing it for quite a while. he was one of the original speedrunners that really helped propel Melee. I mean, Trihex, Siglemic, and Narcissa, they helped propel Melee in 2013 and 2014. He was one of the original guys because he was popular before Melee was popular. Like, Trihex was on the scene before Melee was popular. So, like, I don't know, just to ban this guy 10 years later, I for trivial reasons, I think is not fair. I think it's also
That's
kind
insane.
of it's just I don't know, it is disrespectful to the history of the game. I just think it's so disrespectful to the history.
It is, and dude, I'm so fired up right now, and I'm so glad that the conversation went this way, because to think, I mean, because I was, you know, I never talked to Hax personally. I never knew him. I'm fired up about the situation, but to know that the exact thing is happening to someone who is nothing but nice to me when I first started playing the game and like gave me some pointers and all that, that's got me fired up, dude. I can't believe it.
It's not just Siglemic too. I mean, imagine how many players are banned from the game and not in the best spot and playing the game at a local or a tournament, which in my opinion is not that big of a deal. Non-violent, he's non-violent. He's obviously not a threat or danger to anybody.
So he can't go to majors, do you know?
So the short answer is like yes and no. So like, I mean, I think if he tried to, there would be some issues. A lot of the Oregon TOs actually do have ties or connections to the larger, or they used to be tournament organizers. So like the short answer is no, but maybe he could sneak in. I don't think he's been officially. Like, this is how these bans work.
Like if he just put his name in to a bracket, like probably like away from, you know, Oregon or wherever, like he'd probably be fine, you know, but like for his local, dude, it's crazy. It's working that way on a local level, dude.
Yeah, it's a local problem. I mean,
dude. Yeah, like not even, I mean, we're talking about the whole cabal, like the whole like Smash scene, Twitter sphere as a whole. But to know that all like these unknown power hungry TOs, even on the lowest level for running locals in a spot where there's a small scene, they're still gonna uphold this political ban shit. I mean, it's fucking bizarre.
It is Portland, Oregon, so like, you know, I know Portland's like one of the most liberal parts of the country.
Okay.
Or politically, like Oregon's probably the most politically polar state as well, like bipolar. Like Oregon's just like that. So I mean, maybe you could argue it's an issue of Portland, but
yeah, I can't even wrap my head around that. To be banned for not getting the vax after you can fly on an airplane.
What's that?
You can fly on an airplane now without a mask. I mean, you can't go to a Melee tournament.
I can play the game. I'm not vaccinated. I can play the game. I don't.
I'm saying like Siglemic.
What do you mean? Like he could fly a plane? Yeah, he could fly a plane. Yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that all the COVID restrictions are lifted, and he would be able to go on an airplane but not participate in a Melee tournament.
Yeah, it's just
the Melee tournament. It's like the last. I mean, they're so stubborn.
I know it's not that big of a deal.
It's insane.
A 27-year-old video game tournament. No, 2001, 24-year-old children's game. Okay. That big of a deal. I was like, why don't you just let people play? The social isolation part, I think, is what's harming. I mean, I talk to Sig every other day or every day. The social isolation harmful. It's psychologically harmful to him, and it was to Hax. It was psychologically harmful to Hax for a fact. It is. It's. I mean, this is a well-known thing it's a well-known thing in you know, classic psychology. I mean, my social isolation and speedrunning, I mean, for much of 2014 and 2015, I never talked to anybody. All I did was play Link to the Past. Much of my social isolation, I think, made my mental health drop like a bucket. And I did a lot of really dumb things that I regret. I did a lot of things I regret, or I think I was wrong when I started to wake up a little bit. It's the thing. And I hate seeing it. I think the Hax thing again. I've said this. I say it again. I'll stand by it. I never knew Hax. Never talked to him, and I didn't even support him as a player. Like I didn't like Falcon, and honestly, I hated the 20XX meme. I've always thought that meme makes no sense and was wrong, and I've always argued with it. But it's I think the inner politics, not American politics, but the inner politics of the Smash community. I think these guys are responsible for what happened. I think it needs to be addressed. And I don't agree with any of it. I think it's sick, and it's still happening to dozens of other players. I think it's sick, and I think the Smash community is going to slowly die.
And you know what would have, like, let's say hungrybox went through with this, right? If he had gotten Mech unbanned, if he had gotten Shizwiz unbanned, and there was this huge renaissance that he could have been responsible for, maybe
Yeah.
Sig catches a whiff of it and goes, well, I'm banned over here at, like, in Oregon. Can you guys, like, can you help me, like, mediate this? Because I'm in need and I'm suffering from social isolation. This is a door that hungrybox had the opportunity to open up to all these players.
Yeah, I agree.
And he let the exact same thing that kept him from supporting hacks keep him from supporting players again.
I mean, I hate to say this, but self-inflicted injuries. And actually, I remember Hacks made an attempt in late last year, right? He made an attempt late last year, and it was only in March that he actually passed away. So I remember why, because I was confused about the timeline, but that's what happened. And these things generally come in a bunch. When it rains, it pours, and it's like, this is, again, I think what the Smash community is not actually talking about or addressing. It's like, if this is going to happen to another player in the scene that's not as big as Hacks probably, but if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be this year. It's gonna be certainly this year, next year. I mean, it's like, and yeah, I think that it's not addressing it. It's very likely. I mean, 50% chance that this is gonna happen again. And what is hungrybox gonna say then? And what is Zain gonna say then? And what is Mang0 gonna say? And Mang0 gets unbanned in 6 months, and then a year later, you're gonna see another guy pass away. I mean, what are people gonna think when that happens? Because I think that we are certainly on that path.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, the way things are going, I definitely see it as a possibility. It happened one time and it hasn't changed anything, so there's a lot open for it to happen again. Let me see here. That was a good tangent. I like that we riffing.
Yeah, that was I mean, that was it's how many people in the speedrunning or Smash scene know somebody that's like that though? There's so many people, and a lot of them just quit. If people already have like social structure and functions, they'll just quit and go get
people are not as deep in as Hacks was.
With it, they're not as deep in. Like Hacks is really deep in, and I think a lot of people know that story. There's no way it's the only other person in Smash that's been, in speedrunning. Like, how many people passed away in the past 5 years? Well, most of it was self-inflicted. I know a lot, man. I know a lot, and it's like it should have just been it should have been 0. Apollo was sad that it was Apollo, and it was just a wave of people after that. I mean, a lot of them I knew, and just random people. I mean, it's like this isn't this, but there's no governing body in speedrunning. So there's no, like, when Apollo passed away, it's just like everybody was already for themselves. But speedrunning's not, or Melee's not like that. So I think the Melee community, in my opinion, needs to have a serious talk about that and say, hey, we need to prevent this from happening in the immediate future, because I think it's a very likely chance it happens again in the immediate future. Like, evidence suggests that it will. That needs to be the first thing to happen. And I think then you can. After that, you can address, okay, should we unban Mang0? Should we put term limits? Should we unban all these other players? These are necessary conversations, but I think the first one is, like, we need to prevent another Hacks within the next 18 months.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's why it's so twisted when people try to spin it that Mang0 being unbanned is the beginning of something new, when you already have all these other players that have not been unbanned, and it's clear bias. Yeah. That's let me pull this up actually.
Hey, I have a question. Can I ask you, is it mostly his fans that are suggesting that, or like actual players suggesting that?
Suggesting what? I'm sorry.
Like that this is a new wave of term limits.
Oh yeah, that's it's a conversation I actually had with this guy. Best solution, because this guy, he was very, very pro Hacks.
I've seen this guy.
Yeah. So that's why
he's a voice.
Yeah, that's why I was very disappointed in this tweet. Best solution for Mang0's situation is probably a temp ban, and he's no longer to drink at events ever. So then I had this back and forth with him.
Okay, cool. I mean,
Um,
I actually support a temp ban too, and I like the not drinking at tournaments. I support a
mhm.
temp ban too. I just think that it's hypocritical if they do that.
Yeah, that's
It's
my
like,
I support a temp ban
I mean, it should be like,
once
or I want
once
to.
yeah, once all the other shit is
Yeah, there you go. That's
set
a good
aside
one.
and once there's change within the community, then we can have a temp ban for Mang0, who did worse than any of the other band players ever did. He was actually a danger at events. You know, it's a pattern of drinking. It's objectively worse than Hacks or any of the other band
Yeah, it's
players.
way worse, man.
Yeah. So that's what like ideally, like I said, if all the other shit is sorted out, I'm perfectly fine with
Yeah.
Mang0 coming back. I don't hate despite what it might seem, I don't hate Mang0 personally,
Right. Yeah, you
but
don't.
yeah, there's these problems and it's clear that the people who want, people like him, they're content with Mang0 coming back before the other shit is sorted out. And I pressed him on this
Wow.
and he I know it's right here. Yeah, interested in know why Mang0 specifically deserves another chance. I don't believe Mech and Shiz have ever done anything like this. 33 years old, millions of dollars, a family, not enough for Mang0 to respect people's boundaries. It's people like you that keep him this way. I don't think the Mech ban was justified. Shiz is another story. I've been very vocally anti-ban for a while now. I'd like to see most of the band players allowed to compete again, and I think the concerns about safety are massively overblown. But the attitude of X got a permaban, so Y has to get a permaban doesn't actually fix the problem of the community being overly punitive. And yeah, it's getting in. I don't want to just read this whole thread, but yeah, like I don't like that we jump the gun on the other people just to save
I
Mang0.
agree. Yeah. Talking about Bible Warrior Bronson, that guy's another guy. I've been like, well, why? Maybe we should ban the guy permanently because he was a criminal. He's been in and out of prison his whole life.
Mhm.
Did you know that?
I remember vaguely, like I knew that there was a dispute like that.
Oh, it was like 10 disputes. He was. I mean, a
Mm.
lot of bad stuff too. Like he was very violent.
Yeah.
Absolutely, probably robbery. Definitely, he would fight people all the time. So in melee tournaments, he's always super cordial. Like there was never any issues
Mhm.
whatsoever. He's always extremely nice, supportive of players. I mean, he had this like general melee attitude of like, what can we do to grow the scene? Him, and
Mhm.
everyone else. That's what it was. But so it's like, but in my opinion, if you go to jail for like pulling a gun on somebody or like beating somebody up or like armed robbery,
Yeah.
I think there is a legitimate reason to ban you from a tournament, even if you're nice at the tournament. Like, I don't think that's crazy. In my opinion,
Yeah.
I think it's fine to ban the guy. I think it's funny though that the Smash community did not ban him for those offenses. They banned him.
Yeah.
Why did they ban him? I don't know. Probably because of the politics that
Well,
he brings out.
yeah, so this is the thing. He was
Like,
like
that
yeah,
is just absurd to me. Like, that is absurd.
he's super like reformed, like
Yeah, he's reformed
Christian,
now,
right?
for sure.
So, he's all bit he reads Bible verses.
Yeah, yeah.
And the one thing I will say, I think that this is kind of uncomfortable. I don't think it's enough to warrant a smash ban, but I think he specifically hones in on parts of the Bible. He's like, you see, this is why women should not be dressing like sluts,
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
is why women should be. He's just like he's very, very locked in on the women part,
He's
and I
very
think that makes people
Bible oriented.
uncomfortable.
Which is like, I prefer
Yeah.
that. I get his old, like, have you seen his mugshots, the screenshots?
No.
Or his old video, his old YouTube rap video. He used to be a rapper, and like,
Okay.
it was a mess, man. Look at it, it's really funny. But I don't know. Do you? So I guess I'm asking, what, like, your opinion on how or why he got banned, or I mean, do you have a background on that?
I think it's when I remember reading about it, I believe that the religious views and how he talked about women were cited the most.
Okay.
And I'm assuming they'd throw the charges in there too, just as extra reason to keep him out.
I wonder. I mean, like, I've always, because he stopped being a gangbanger, I think, in like, no, he was never, truly a gangbanger, but he stopped being a criminal rat. I think I want to say 2015 or something, 2016. Like maybe was right before his Bible when he switched to the gospel thingy.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think it was ever referenced, so I never, because people always knew about it. Like everybody knew about it. It's not like anybody really cared. Like I mean, it was just a joke. It was a running joke, and like his rap videos, it was a running joke. Like that was all it was.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about it, and so it's like, I don't know. It's just, I think it's okay to ban him for that stuff. Now, again, that's in his past.
Mm.
I think the him like attacking the Bible verses is nowhere near as bad as like he would. I mean, again, I don't know if it was armed robbery or if it was like domestic abuse. I know domestic
Yeah.
abuse was. I mean, these were there were serious charges. Like he was a
Mm.
criminal. I mean, he was a lifetime criminal. He's one of these guys. Like he was. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a big guy too. He's not.
He was crashing out a little bit.
He was worse than that. I mean, this is a guy that. Yeah, I mean, he was a few steps away from murder. Like,
Yeah.
you know, one of these guys in life, prison in life. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Melee kept him more stable than he could have been. It could have been a lot. Said Melee kept Mang0 off the streets.
Yeah.
Possible it kept Shiz more stable. I don't know. He's got a story to tell. I think Shiz's story is super valuable in the Melee scene, and yeah, I mean maybe. I mean, again, I would, if you banned him, I'd just ban him for that. No question. I wouldn't even question it at all.
Well, who knows? Maybe at some point on the show we could have. I'd like to network with these people. Like, I'd like to have conversations with band players, and
such a rich conversation.
All right, guys. So, we covered a lot of ground. It's time to finally get into the Mang0 stuff. So we're gonna go a little bit just through his comeback stream, and a little bit from his stream where he started consistently streaming again. So the stream we're going to be looking at right now is the update. I have timestamps right here to go through all the stuff that I think is interesting that we can talk about. So let me just pull that up. Okay, yeah, this is interesting. All right, I got notes. 22 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go.
I think it was, it just sucked, and
I can't hear it at all.
Yeah, it's very quiet. Let me see. Can I turn it up in my volume mixer? Maybe.
Or you could you might have to overlay it on the VOD, but
Okay.
I mean,
can you right click and turn up the volume on the stream?
Yeah, try it again.
I think it just sucked. I think for everybody, and
so he's going over. He's just recapping the events and giving his thoughts on everything that went down.
I think, just sorry to everybody again. I've said, a million times to everybody, but everybody that was involved at the event, close friends, family, I've handled my, apologies and talking to people like off stream, and I've done a lot of chatting, and I talked to people. How that went, I think, is really nobody's business except mine and the people involved, and I think I've handled that the best I could, and I feel like I've talked to everybody, I've talked to friends, and I feel like I've handled it, and I've done what I can to make things better or try to make amends. So in that regard, it sucks that it happened, and I'm fucking sorry. I'm not trying to downplay it.
So I'm gonna read into what he's saying here, because he touches on it again later. The implication, or at least what it reads to me, for him to say, I've apologized to everyone, and how it went is really nobody's business. What that tells me is that at least one of the people at this event that he reached out to and said, hey, I'm sorry about my behavior, they rejected his apology. So that's why he's phrasing everything like that. He's like, look, I've handled everything I can do on my end. I can only control what I do. I've given out my apologies, and how that went is nobody's business. So that tells me that not everyone is cool with what happened. He hasn't received forgiveness from everyone, which in a situation like this where he's sexually harassed on a live stream, like 5 different women. It's very embarrassing for them.
Was it 5? That many?
I think, dude, like at the very least 3.
Wow, I thought it was just the 2.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it was the implication by how he's describing the scenario here is that he has not received complete forgiveness, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go up to 3250.
I see a lot of things now, and that's kind of where I'm at. But people are probably wondering like, what am I doing to like better myself? And so I got the American treatment recently, and it was kind of funny because I love America through it all, but it finally got me because I wanted to go to rehab, right, and like do that and do the whole thing, and then I check and I see how much rehab is, and I'm like, well, I just lost 80% of my income, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can spring for that right now, and like I have money put away. Like I think people think I'm done with my money. I could probably soft retire now, finish paying off my house, get some shitty little part-time job. Like trust me, I put money away. Like I think people think I was like done with my money and I have none. Trust, I put some money away, but then I was like, okay, I can't. I'm like, I don't want to pay for that because I'm like, I think the parent came out of me. I was like, well, I'd rather use my money to, take care of my family. And I was already thinking like, I don't want to take my son out of private school, stuff like that. I think if you have kids, you'll understand. Like, you kind of like, I kind of in that moment was like, well, I think I should, let me hold on. So I tried that, and then I was gonna do therapy, right? Because and I didn't get to do like actual therapy because
So it's gonna start off slow, right? Like it's gonna be kind of like, why are we watching these clips of Mang0? But it's building to his perception of his band. Because when the situation first went down, he said, I'm going to stop drinking, I'm going to go to rehab and get help.
Yeah.
And throughout this, as we watch him talk, he's going to be very loose the way he talks about how he's going to stop drinking. So you would imagine that the band condition, right? If we are to accept that all of this is Mang0's fault, he's taking full accountability. He crashed out and got blackout drunk irresponsibly at a live event and sexually harassed multiple women while he has a wife and a child. You would expect that the narrative for him would be, okay, I'm an alcoholic, I have a problem, it's ruined my life, I'm done with it completely, throwing it out, I'm done. You'd expect that to be.
That's what I would think.
But as you're going to see throughout this stream, he's going to kind of slowly walk it back. He's like, oh, well, I don't really have the money for rehab. I didn't really like AA. It wasn't my style. And then the more he talks, he's going to say, well, maybe in like 5 or 6 years, I could have a beer every once in a while. He's already talking about his return to drinking.
Clearly, I mean, this is going to happen again in his life. Probably not in the melee scene, but this is going to happen again. Like alcoholism and some horrible issue. Yeah, I certainly.
So I don't think that the community per se has any say in telling Mang0 when he can and can't drink outside of melee.
Yeah.
But for this to be the narrative that he's a reformed person and he's coming back,
nothing changed.
He should come back correct, because I thought he was going to take like a year off, right? I thought he was going to take off a long time, and then he would come back and his stream would have thousands of viewers. Mang0's back. Hey guys, I'm a changed man. All my shit's straight. I'm ready to do the community right. I'm ready to come back and be the same old Mang0. I've changed. But instead of what that should have been, instead of that timeline, what we have is him coming back like 2 months later and being like, yeah, guys, well, it was a fucked up situation. I did all I can do, but, maybe you'll come back to love me and I'll have a few beers every once in a while, maybe in the future. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, it's not good optics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so... I know a guy in the League of Legends community. He's a very popular streamer. I don't know him, but he got banned in, I think it was, I don't remember. He got banned in the competitive scene by Riot Games for a year, and he actually did cool off. Basically quit the game. He probably played on burners, but he basically quit the game. He cooled off, and he actually like addressed it and changed. And when he came back, it was like totally reformed. And honestly, he's still a successful streamer. I mean, it's a thing. You can do it. Take a year off. It's not a crazy thing. I think a lot of these bans are justified. I think term limits is a great idea because they're not. It's not like anybody. nothing severe happened. You can perma bans everything too, but I think term limits need to be implemented across the board. And I think Mang0 clearly has not changed at all. I mean, this guy's 32, 31. He's young, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the rest of his life in terms of his alcoholism, certainly, again, he's going to get out of control. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it may probably not in Melee, but certainly, I mean, this. So if you're a fan of Mang0, you're expecting him to do this again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't see it any other way. It's just he's not changing anyway. We can go watch the rest of the clip. He's clearly not changing.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird, like, nonchalant attitude. It's what not to do, because like you said, like, people can take like a year off, let everything cool down, come back and say, look, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and I'm ready to play again, and everyone would love it. But it's so weird and stilted that he would come back so soon and be so loose about the way he speaks on the issue when it's so major. Yeah, I'm gonna let's see when he's talking about the ban.
I was gonna do therapy, and then I was like, all right, and then I was like, oh no, I lost C9, I lost my insurance. So then I saw how much therapy was, and I was like,
and also, when you think, like, if you're a millionaire and you're talking about reforming your life, like, wouldn't it, like, I understand not having insurance, but like there's got to be something he could do, you know what I mean? Like,
I wonder
if he can't afford rehab, he should go to AA, but according to him, it's not for him.
I mean, I wonder if he even is a millionaire, because Mang0 he's been blowing money in the past all his life. He's had money, he's been blowing it. It's not like he has a really rich savings, and then on top
He
of
took
that,
his whole family to the Super Bowl.
he clearly was making a significant income, but he just, assuming he did lose 80% of his income, he's never getting that back. So he's never making money in the, like, he says he could soft retire. I mean, clearly he has quite a bit of money.
It was such a handicap for me. Although I will say,
oh yeah,
if I didn't drink, I probably would have never lost a Melee tournament, and I think things would have been boring. So that's all I got. Now I can do a humble run now. But let me tell you something. We'll see. I'm just saying, I realize now that, like, alcohol has just handicapped me, and I see it now. I think I had a lot of fun on alcohol, but, like, when I look at it, it's like, I think just like all the down moments of my life and, like, people I've let down or made uncomfortable or whatever, it's just always with alcohol. And it's like, I see that now that I'm 3 weeks sober, and, like, I understand now. It took, I'm sad that it took all of this, but I see it. I see it. I have no desire to drink, and I realize it's just kind of handicapped me, man. And so I think just going forward, I have no intentions of drinking.
Isn't that so weird? He can't say it. He can't say, and that is why I will not drink anymore. It's like a filibuster. It keeps going, and it's like, yeah, it really handicapped me, and that's why going forward, I think, well, it did help me win tournaments, but yeah, and what I want to say, I don't want to drink, and I don't intend to drink. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I think he will start drinking again. I for sure think so.
He definitely wants to, from the way he talks about it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, this guy, I guess we could play a video.
Oh, crazy, because
that's so interesting.
I think so. If you guys don't know, I've my relationship with Melee is kind of, so obviously I'm banned from Melee. I got a year ban, which I'm not arguing it. And I think if you're a fan of me, I don't want any of you to, like, harass the TOs or, like, I don't expect any of my fans to, I will take that. I will take the year ban from majors, and just it is what it is. And if you're a fan of mine, I think you just will take it. I think I think you respect that, and I think the reason the TOs didn't probably post it is because they didn't want the harassment and all the stuff that comes with it, and I think that's fair. So again, I think a year, if they want to do a year and a half, 2 years, I'm up for it. I think being a part of Melee is, like, a privilege, and I unfortunately lost my privilege. I do think I've done a lot of good and positive in Melee, but I did lose my privilege of that. And I'm okay with it. Maybe in 6 months, 9 months, year and a half,
yeah, see,
back.
6 months.
This isn't like I haven't talked
9 months.
Maybe in 6, 7 months, I'm like, hey, I'm doing pretty good.
6, 7.
I'm not gonna spam them to come back. If they say after a year we're gonna add some more time, and I'm not
like, it's so passive. Like, I don't understand.
I just can't believe it, man. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, how can you say that you're taking full accountability for something that's horrible that you did at a public event that affected the community, and say, I understand, I see now how bad what it is that I've done. But perhaps I could even get the ban shortened because I'm cool and I'm changed already. You know what I mean? It's so weird. It's so uncomfortable.
But also, it's like Hacks literally just passed away, and was
Yeah.
the major issue there is that he was banned permanently for something. Yeah, for something that's like way less severe.
Yeah,
And
completely.
Mango has this like blithe attitude about like, oh yeah, well, hopefully like 1 year, maybe 2. And it's like, well, wait a minute, wait a minute. This guy just died. Who, in the major controversy that was that he was permanently banned for something that's like trivial, and you just like sexually harass women, which is like the highest crime in the Smash community, because of 2020.
Yeah.
And you're like trying to like, hey, you're like maybe 2 years. I just shocked. I can't believe it's like really, you're not gonna address like the elephant in the room. Like, I mean, like Hacks he was permanently banned for this. Am I not seeing this? Like,
yeah, it's so like presumptuous, and I want to use the word belligerent how he's carrying himself, because like it puts the bias on the community on such display. The fact that Hacks was groveling just to please get back in over something so trivial, and now Mang0 is so confident they're gonna let him go.
Yeah.
At 6 months for something that he did that was detestable.
There was no point where it's like I'm permanently banned. There was no point. It was always like 6 months, 9 months, a year, maybe more than a year.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna play it by. Yeah, there's just not a lot of remorse.
In the entire Smash community, if this was anybody else, permaban.
Yeah.
And we've seen it multiple times this year. I mean, that guy in NorCal got banned for stuff that was way less severe. And then, I mean, Teapot was banned from Smash 5. That was current this year. He didn't do anything remotely close. I mean, this was serious. This was a
Very
serious offense. It was a serious violation of their code of conduct.
Is this where Hacks went? Is this where Hacks went wrong? Like, should there have just been like an evidence.zip2 style video where he's like, I understand what I did was wrong, but maybe you let me back in even a little bit earlier, and I've completely changed. You know what I mean? Just bullet points, be like, and I've done all that I can do. Like, super nonchalant.
I don't have the money to change, but
yeah. And maybe maybe in 5 to 6 years I can make another video about Leffen. Oh my gosh.
I really think the Smash TOs like I think they're directly responsible for them passing the Hacks, and
100%.
It just go if Mang0's unbanned, it just drives that home more, where it's like, well, this guy said, his ban was stupid. Frankly, it was stupid. And then he said he needs to be unbanned. It's a serious mental health problem. It absolutely is his life, and he just needs to, and he's begging. And then this other guy gets not banned for one thing that's way worse.
Yeah.
It just seems to me that like they wanted Hacks to suffer like that, and they don't want Mang0 to suffer. That's how I can't imagine anything else.
And that's what I'm saying. It's on full display right here. Like, this stream, it says everything about the bias in the Smash community.
What are the odds that Mang0 would do this on stream and then right after Hacks is passing? Because I think if Mang0 did this, if Hacks was shoot, it's hard to say it without rewriting history, but like, these two events totally separate would be big, but I think them happening like at the same time it amplifies both of them so much.
Yeah. No, it's the worst timing. Like, it's not like years went by and everyone acknowledged that the Hacks thing was bad, and then the Mang0 thing happened. It's like right after.
Yeah. I mean, if Mang0 did this 5 years from now, then maybe we do a 2-year term limit. We learned from the past, or maybe we didn't, but he's Mang0, so it's a special exception. But I can't unban him. I mean,
that's the problem. Because, like, we both acknowledge that Mang0 has done so much for the community. He's a charismatic guy. He's a Falco player. Everything makes you want to like Mang0. I want to like Mang0. But, like I keep reiterating, he didn't speak up for hacks. He fucked over Westballs for basically... He fucked over Westballs for the live version of what Mang0 actually did.
Yeah, you're right.
Isn't that nuts?
That is a little bit.
That's so twisted.
Karma right there, some irony.
Mhm.
Dude, I still think it should just be everybody's unbanned. But then the problem is, I know a lot of the Smash community would be like really offended by that for some reason, and they'll do the HBox treatment where they basically brigade HBox and DM and all this nonsense. So I think if the Melee community did that, they'd have to like accept a certain pushback and like deal with that pushback. In my opinion, I think everybody should be unbanned. I think right now, to honor hacks, just everybody's unbanned and just deal with it at tournaments. And if people get in a fight at a tournament or people are rude to each other at a tournament, then address it, ban them. Then I mean, if you do something at a tournament, ban them. I think that everybody should be on their best behavior at a tournament. But I think on the internet, I don't know. That's what I think. I know that opinion is flawed. People are going to disagree with that, which I say find a better solution. Because I think you're right. That's a flawed opinion, but find a better solution.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think, obviously there are people who should be banned for things that they do that are wrong. Like, there's people who are justifiably banned right now, I'm sure. But it's this overreach when it's like, it's like when they crazy made hacks. They're like, hacks is unhinged. Like, you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, hacks is so unhinged he can't go to tournament. But clearly he could go to tournaments and he was fine. Or like, they frame Mech as like a threat to the community for his opinions, but it's like, okay, well, he can go to a tournament and not dry hump women. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, why is Mang0 not a threat? I don't understand that. What?
Such a threat.
I don't understand why this guy should be allowed to ever play Smash with the current precedent. Again, I mean, he's clearly a threat to women. I mean, even if you could argue it's the alcohol and it's not him, which, by the way, that's kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt that it's the alcohol and it's not him. We don't know that. We have to assume that's the case. It could be him that's doing that, and the alcohol is just kind of making it public. We don't know that what he's doing behind the scenes, or what he does in his free time, or what goes on in his mind.
Yeah.
But we do know that he did that behaviorally. People in 2020 were being banned left and right for stuff like that. Now Mang0 does it, and it's alcohol. Well, I mean, I do think the alcohol was an element, right? It aided him on some level, but most people don't get that credit. I think in the real world, especially, most people don't get that credit. Dude, I'm hoping in the next 6 months, people will start to wake up to this.
I think they will.
I hope so, yeah.
It's too big now. And like you said, like, if that's the narrative he's going to run with, that it was the alcohol, then it becomes his responsibility to stop drinking to ensure his stableness and his ability to respect people at events, but he's not owning it. He said the right things, but he's dancing around it. You can tell. Let's see. Oh, dude, this shit is so fucking weird. Oh no, this one's funny actually. I think I'm already there. 57. Yeah. Dude, listen to this shit. This is funny as fuck.
Go Birds. I will say not drinking will be tested during football season. And it's kind of funny, but that'll be my my biggest test.
Look at the chat.
Drink during the Eagles game, but we'll see when the time comes.
Yeah, and
if we back to back, I might have to have
where I think
we'll see what
people
happens.
haven't really woken up to this.
But we'll see. Maybe just one.
I mean,
watch the chat real quick. Watch it real quick. No.
But like I said, I've done a lot of things sober that like. You guys and I went fucking bowling, and in my head, I'm like, bowling's gonna be fucking lame sober. I'm just back in my mind like, I don't want to do this, but I was like, fuck it out. Let's fucking bowl. I had the time of my life, and I actually bowled 100. I've only ever bowled drunk. I averaged like 44. I was like, ooh, ooh, that was kind of gaming.
Yeah, I think that
like I'm joking about the Eagle stuff, but
I mean, he says
I think
season's gonna be hard.
Like I went to a baseball game sober. I never went to this.
Yeah,
well,
I think
it's like, what am I expecting him to do drunk at a baseball game, or at a football game? What am I expecting? I'm expecting him to do the same thing he did at the tournament, not streamed. Except the baseball game is
Yeah.
the football game is actually not streamed. That's the only difference, really.
To be honest, I think in my spot, any fellow drunk asshole would probably drink a little bit. So I've only since the incident, I've only been drunk one time. One time. Now before you judge me, it was like 4 or 5 days after.
I give him a little
and
credit. I give him
sat
a little
right in this
credit
chair, I
here.
drank a whole bottle of gin, and I just sat here and cried till like 4 a.m. No words, no screens, no nothing. I sat right here. And
Like, I'll say,
I'm
like,
shocked,
and just sat here
man.
till like
I
4.
don't give him any credit at all. Really, you give him credit for that? I mean, I'm interested in you.
I'm from my perspective, it's like if he's already this dependent on alcohol and he lost his entire career, I would expect him to go on a bit of a binge, just
Okay.
like from the stress and everything. So I at least respect him being honest and not lying about it, you know?
Yeah. But that
Because
means to me that nothing's changed at all. Like nothing at all has changed.
yeah, like yeah. Okay, yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse than that, because if that were the only instance, I would give him more credit. But then later he's like, yeah, and then like I had a few beers after. I had to have a Modelo for the road before I quit.
4 a.m. and just drank.
I think he says it here,
And
maybe.
I was like, and I wanted to do that so that I could remind myself to like this is how shit you feel, and I want you to remember this. Like next time you drink, that this was the result of all of that.
What,
And
dude? That's insane.
Wait,
Dude.
say that again.
Hold
I have
on.
to grind that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll rewind it back.
Kind of shit you feel, and I was like, and no words, no screens, no nothing. I sat right here and just fucking cried and just sat here till like 4 a.m. and just drank. And I was like, and I wanted to do that so that I could remind myself to like this is how shit you feel, and I want you to remember this. Like next time you drink, that this was the result of all of that. And I kind of remember that where I'm just like,
The reason that he drank an entire bottle of gin after losing his career to alcohol is to remind himself the next time he drinks how bad he felt. But I think he says like he had a few beers, like a couple days like after or something.
just remember that. Like the reason we feel this shitty, and and like for me it's like, yeah, I don't ever want to sit at my fucking chair till 3
Yeah,
4 a.m. just
that-
fucking drinking in the
That's a
room.
really
I just-
that's
and,
a bizarre cope. Like that's a really weird
it's a
way to
cope.
frame it. He couldn't, like, why didn't he just say like, yeah, like obviously I was stressed from losing my career, so I got drunk, but I'm moving forward. He has to make it this whole thing. He's like, the reason I got drunk is to associate it with the feeling of losing my career so that it makes me not want to drink the next time I want to. But then he did, I think. I really need to confirm
I think
this
about drinking, I'm
whether
like, I don't want to feel that way again.
I think I'm almost
Kinda-
100% sure he drank after
like I said, I'm a
that.
psycho, and then that's what I did. So and then I said that Monday. I think that Sunday before I quit drinking, I had 3 beers. Yeah, and then that Saturday I watched Dude, Where's My Car with my sister, and I had 2 beers, and then on Sunday I had 3 beers, and then I was like, all right, I had to have my last Modelo for the road, and then I said, we're gonna try not to feel bad for yourself. You're gonna start working out. We're gonna start biking. You're gonna clean. I need things to be like that for me to be like, you know what I mean? Like it sucks, but like I think the week it happened, like I learned a lot about myself, and like I get a lot of things, and I just think that's just like that was the last time I got drunk, and like I think I needed that. I think I had to get it out.
Yeah, okay. That was the last time he got drunk, and then he's like, okay,
So,
then after that I had a few
think-
beers, and then that was the last time I
think that's where
drank.
I'm at.
Like a period of time after.
No, I think like I said, I'm saying everything that like I'm just speaking from my heart.
Let me pull up my clips
I'm
again.
just telling you guys all that happened. Some of it was good. Some of it was
Yeah, so then drinking the bottle of gin was pointless in the first place because you still drank. The last time he was drunk was the bottle of gin, but then he had a few Modelos, like the weekend after or something. I'll see if I can get the clip of it, but that's fucking crazy, dude. Oh, okay, this one's nuts. This is him, dude. He like alludes to having some sort of like at least knowing about the hack situation. Listen to this.
online will not be online. Because I think my job is online, but I don't want to be as online. I just kind of want to be here on my channel. And then especially if I'm not involved in Melee, I really don't have like a community I have to like like answer to or like take on like whatever the course is that day or whatever that is. I kind of don't have to do it, and I can kind of just be here in my little bubble. And I like the sound of that. I think I was growing tired. I think a big part for me, like I'm sad.
So he basically just said that, well, because I'm banned from the Melee community, I don't have to do anything that they tell me to. So I'm just going to chill and do my own thing, which is cool. So the entirety of the Hacks ban, Hacks was like completely like bent over by these people. This guy was breaking down, like, please let me back in. He had to answer to everything they did. And it's strange that he says courses there, because I think one of the stipulations of Hacks coming back is they were making him go to college so that he could get a job. This was like an actual plan in place to get Hacks back into the community. They made him go to they were making him go to college. So for Mang, let's wind that back.
I lost Melee here in my little bubble. Like answer to or like take on like whatever the course is that day or whatever that is. I
think that is a reference to Hacks. What does he mean, take on the courses that day?
Yeah, I wonder about that too. That's definitely like.
He's saying straight up, I am above whatever trials they could try to put me through because I'm Mang0 and I know that they need me. That's what he's saying. I'm almost 90% sure. We got the second Super Bowl joke.
Non-alcoholic beers that make me happy. So I'm not drinking. I don't plan. I did joke about drinking if the Eagles win the Super Bowl. So I hope we don't win, but if we win, we'll deal with it when we do. We'll deal with it when the time comes. And, what else? And a big thing I realized is things are actually really fun sober. And I realized that like drinking just kind of handicapped me. And obviously I'm joking, and you guys got to realize something. I'm going to have to joke about me drinking and relapsing because that's just how I am. So it doesn't mean anything. That's just, I have to joke about things. And you guys know me well enough to know that that's just how I am. I have to joke. I've actually today made the most jokes I've made in a long time. My jokes were kind of, they were fading.
It's just such poor optics for the situation. Like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you've changed, you understand you shouldn't be joking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would
he
demonstrate
hasn't
some
changed
level of
at all.
maturity.
Yeah, I think Mang0.
Yeah,
I am curious. Like going forward, I'm curious about how is Mang0's career gonna evolve during his ban. I do think they'll unban him. So during his ban, how is his career gonna evolve? So I think how many followers is he gonna lose is what I'm really asking. And then is the Melee community gonna implode when he gets unbanned? Is the whole thing just gonna collapse?
Yeah. No, I'm not sure what the narrative, what the prevailing narrative is going to be when he does eventually get unbanned. I think if he gets unbanned early, it's going to be a nightmare on Twitter. And I think if they do give him the full year, there's going to be the free Hacks people, but it's probably not going to be as they're probably not going to be like as angry.
It's a year.
If he does go through the whole year ban, if they let him off early, dude, people are going to be pissed.
I think a year is early though. I mean, I think any ban,
any
unban is early. Well, I guess you could swing the argument that term limits are a thing now, but like everybody else that's banned, like why is this guy allowed to be unbanned when he's the most egregious behavior? He has the worst behavior. And he's the one that's unbanned. I think that's crazy. I think it's just crazy. Like I don't see. I think you have to unban everybody. And I think if they unban him, it's gonna Mech is gonna be banned and Mana's gonna be banned and Bible Warrior and everybody's gonna be banned still. And there's hundreds of bans. I mean, it's not a small list. It's hundreds. I think they're all gonna wonder, why is this guy unbanned when he did something that's way worse than what I did?
I would hope so.
I said something they didn't like. He did something far worse in the eyes of the Melee community. Far worse. Why is he? I think that's crazy.
You were kind of bringing up earlier, it's like people were getting like sniped over like Google Docs of alleged like inappropriate advances. You know what I mean?
And then Mango's like dry humping women at an event.
Yeah.
And again, I
Fucking
mean, blame the
crazy.
alcohol. I've never in my life blamed alcohol for any behavior from anybody. I always blame the individual.
Mhm.
I blame Mango on that one, but it's like, where's the internal work to just address what he did? It's not even the AA. I mean, the AA should just obviously, but like, why not address the behavior? Like
Yeah.
nobody's addressing the behavior in this whole situation. His fans aren't. He's not. We're not even addressing the behavior. We've been criticizing the alcoholism. It's the
Mhm.
behavior that needs to be criticized. I mean, where is that in the conversation at all? Like, that behavior is totally thrown under the bus. The behavior is a problem.
Yeah.
The alcoholism is like is a small issue.
Because he should be aware of his relationship with alcohol. So for him to go to an alcohol themed event and then just not have the self-restraint to not get blackout drunk is crazy. You can't black out at a public event. And he has multiple times leading up to the Beerio cart.
I actually I'm getting more aggressive about this. I think that we shouldn't even talk about the alcoholism. I don't think the alcoholism. The guy sexually harassed in a pretty severe way a lot of women. They did not want it. Obviously, I mean, it looked like they were extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was weird.
I don't think the alcohol it makes up for it though. I don't think him drinking is like permissible. It's everybody. This whole thing has been framed around the idea that because he did it because he was drunk. This entire thing has been unfairly framed around that, and I don't think I think that's ignoring the behavior, right?
I think you're definitely onto something because Mango is the type of guy to be like horny on main, you know what I mean? Like he'll say some like, you know, like who he thinks is like hot and sexy, and you know that's one thing on its own. But yeah, dude, because it wasn't just the dry humping.
Oh, really?
He went up to that one girl and he was playing with her hair. Like she was sitting on the couch, like talking to the stream, and there's Ludwig and Mango, and Mango is like going up to her and like literally like caressing her hair. Like it was really creepy behavior. Yeah, like if it would be like, I mean, dry humping's bad enough, but like the combination of those things, it paints like a more like kind of perverse.
This is the biggest crime.
Motive.
I think. This is the biggest controversy, in my opinion, is that why is that not being addressed? Like why is the behavior not being addressed? Like why is this just turned into he's an alcoholic? I mean, lots of alcoholics don't do that. A lot of alcoholics don't do that stuff, right?
Right. Yeah,
a lot
and
of
it's
people were
like
drinking at the event. A lot of people were drinking at Beerio Kart, right? I mean, it was literally a Beerio Kart. Like, he was the only guy doing that. So why is it Mango is
very
drinking?
good point.
Everybody's drinking. I'm missing it here.
No, dude,
I've been in parties, people drinking blackout drunk. I've never seen anybody do that. I have never seen anybody do that drunk. Hundreds of people I've seen drunk. Talked to in all accounts, all levels. I've never seen that. And if somebody does do that when they're drunk, usually people call it out and say, well, he doesn't really, it's not really an excuse. But Mango, it's an excuse for it. I think this whole thing needs to be reframed.
Yeah. No, I think you're definitely onto something because you know, it's the worst case scenario for what he could have done. Like it's not like like, you know, he attempted to kiss someone and got pushed off and it was embarrassing. It's not like, he like was drunk and then stumbled into someone's breast and it made them uncomfortable. It's literally like honing in on multiple different women, whether it be to dry hump them or caress their hair or gyrate in front of them. It was completely motivated from a perverse part of his mind.
Yeah, right. Like I don't. So I'm gonna attack Mango fans for that in the future because I think this whole thing has been unfairly framed around the alcoholism. And I think Mango's had a lot of bad behavior in his life, and it's always he's a drinker, and it's like I don't know. You can't. I don't think a lot of it. Yeah, you can lump under. I don't know. I don't think this should be lumped into the alcoholism. Like, I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy.
And I think,
I mean, it took me 3 hours of us talking to really come to this conclusion. So I mean,
yeah, with all the context and everything, it definitely, helps with the clips and stuff. But what you're saying, I think, is perfect because alcohol, like, is his way out through this. Because you're right,
Yeah.
it is a behavior issue, and if he wanted to save his career, he could blame it on the alcohol and then quit. But he wants to blame it on the alcohol and then keep the possibility open of him drinking.
Which is even worse. I'm gonna
Man,
tweet this out. I'm actually pretty upset about this. But
no, 100%.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, this
Again,
is
we'll see. I think people will wake up to this over time.
yeah.
I do think so.
I think this podcast is gonna help.
I hope so. I
Having
mean,
it.
for the people listening, I mean, give me or give us your thoughts on should Mang0 be castrated because of the alcoholism, or it should be his behavior.
Mhm. Yeah. So this is where he talks about maybe 5 to 6 years down the line,
Just kind of
he
handicap
can have some
maybe
alcohol.
worse person, lazier person, stupider person. Just you know. And then I think my future plans. I'm sober. I have no intentions of drinking.
No intentions, dude. I'm not
even-
off alcohol for good. I don't plan on drinking. I don't intend to drink.
I
I have
mean-
no desire to drink.
I think what you're saying is, I'm not trying to diminish what you're saying because I agree with you, but it's like even the idea that how he's framed this as an alcohol problem. He framed this entirely. Oh, it's alcohol. That's the issue. I'll stop drinking. But it's not an alcohol problem. I don't think this is an alcohol problem at all. It's like, well, wait a minute. What happened to the behavior, man? Like, I don't understand. The whole thing has been framed wrong. Now, I agree with what you're saying too. It's like,
Yeah. No, I think it's the alcohol is part of the behavior. Like, I don't think he would have dry humped.
yeah. Be honest with me. Be honest with me. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think he would have dry humped women sober. You know what I mean? And he's like, there's certain things you would not do drunk. There's certain things you wouldn't do sober that you would do drunk. But that's once you run into a situation like this, it's like, dude, like, you need to drop the drinking, like, ASAP. Like, if that's gonna be your way out, you know what I mean? There needs to be no question about it. He's off it. And I agree with what you're saying, that it is a behavior issue. But I think alcohol is so tied into the problem and what happened. I think they're kind of intertwined.
Yeah,
I think you're completely right because, like, everyone was drunk at the event and Mang0 was the only one doing that.
That's what I mean. And I've been to parties with drunk people, a lot of drunk people. I've known a lot of alcoholics, a lot of drunk people. I've never seen that. I've never, and every time because it does happen, but every time anything like that happens, the person is usually excommunicated because of the behavior. I've never seen it be that. It's like, okay, well, the alcohol, and I've just never seen that. So it's like, to me, it's like, this whole thing was framed, oh, Mang0 is a victim of his alcoholism. But it's like, well, is it really? I feel like there's more going on here. It's just,
it's like, that others are victims of his alcoholism.
Yeah, or the others are victims of his alcoholism, but they're not victims of him at all. And it's like, well, he's the one who did that. I mean,
these women that he harassed on these streams, like, they're embarrassed publicly on the internet forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is how a lot of people had to see something very embarrassing in a situation where it was awkward for these women to stand up for themselves, and none of the staff or any of the guys really did anything about it when they all saw Mang0 doing it.
Dude, I have to defend Extra Emily. Something's wrong in the world. Okay, I hate Extra Emily. That's my least favorite person on the whole internet. But I have to defend her because I think this whole situation is so warped. It's so warped to, like, coddle this guy, man-child. That's how he's acting.
Yeah.
So.
Let me see. Okay, yeah, he's gonna say it.
A few years down the line. For now, though, I just want to.
Oh yeah.
And then I think my future plans. I'm sober. I have no intentions of drinking. Maybe in a few years down the line. For now, though, I just want to work out.
A few years, dude.
See what my body can do.
So, like, minimum 3.
But he's gonna be unbanned by then too.
Yeah.
And then while he's banned, he can't drink. But when he's unbanned, he can drink again.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's just gonna try to Mang0 his way out of the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna like, plead with his audience. He's gonna try to work the Mang0 charm and be like, come on, I can have a beer. I can have a beer when the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I mean, come on. and I've been on good behavior. I'm unbanned. You know what I mean? He's gonna work this angle unless he
Especially if he
changes
wins the
something.
tournament.
Yeah, unless he changes something like drastically. The way he's thinking about alcohol is not healthy right now. It's not at all healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And dude, so it's funny that you say man child, dude. Dude, Lucky's catching a stray here. All right. Lucky's catching a fat stray. So you know how Lucky or Joey, whatever you want to call him, he streams on Mang0's channel.
Yeah.
Dude, Mang0's just gonna have to do it.
Okay, relax. Okay, you gotta remember, I do love Jersey Shore. So, thoughts on the game J-Bone's been playing? I bought Joey Tony Hawk. Keep in mind, I lost all my income. I was like, Joey, I'll buy this game for you. He streamed it once. That's my thoughts on what Joey's been playing. Fucking played it one time. One time he played it. Man said he was only gonna give an update today. Is low-key gonna give Joey's uptime a run for their money. Don't get me started on Joey. He only streamed 3 hours of Donkey Kong the day it came out because he got motion sickness from a kid's game. And then I said, it's fine, you can make it up on Sunday. I checked in his stream Friday. He's like, Mang0 said I was going to stream on the weekend, but I'm not gonna, and he can fight me. And I was like, what do you mean? What, how? I couldn't believe he said that. I was like, what the fuck? I can just fire Joey right now. I can't even afford to pay his ass. I'm losing money. And he's going to fight. I can. Now you're beating me up because you don't want to cover your own shift? I've done heard it all. I've done heard it all.
So I think, as far as I know, I think that streaming on Mang0's channel is Lucky's only job.
Yeah, he lives. That's why he started streaming off of Mang0. That's why he started streaming on Mang0's channel, because I always thought that was a weird business move. But it's because Lucky has no income. So he needs to find some way to generate income.
I mean, like, we have a prime example. Like, people want to act like all the top Smash players, all the TOs, they have their shit together, you know, they know what's up. They're making these top level high IQ decisions.
Yeah.
And then one of our top players, Lucky, he's treating Mang0 like his dad. He's like, Dad, can you buy this game for me so that I can stream it? After Dad just lost his job.
Yeah.
And then he barely even plays it.
Brutal, dude.
And he calls off all the time too. Like, even before this, when I'd kept up with Mang0, I mean, he is just on some bum shit.
This is
like,
when I realized like the Smash and speedrunning community is like kind of pathetic. When I started working retail, within like 3 years, I had a bigger savings and made more money than 99.99% of speedrunners or smashers. I mean, there was a countable number of people that were wealthier than I was. On one hand, in both scenes, it was like, I was like, what's going on here? I shouldn't be like grossly outperforming them financially because I'm working almost minimum wage retail job. Like, I'm like, this isn't right. Like, something's wrong. This is weird. And it's the same thing it's the same thing in Smash, where it's like, what Smasher has made more money than me in the past? You know, I actually haven't been working the past year and a half full time. I was working part time for a lot of it. But when I was actually working full time, I mean, what Smasher made more money than me? IBW, I'm pretty sure I make more money than him yearly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't well, when I'll start working within a few weeks, because I got a job recently, but it's like, he doesn't make more. I don't. Maybe at best he makes like the same income, but it's tax heavier and there's, you know, less benefits and like less stability. And I mean, Mang0 at this point, he's not making any money. Like, I mean, he probably is making good money, but his stream is dated. I mean, it's only has so many years left. What's he supposed to do from 35 to 65 to 90? If he died between 65 and 95, it's like, well, what are you supposed to do for that period of time?
I mean, shit. Like, I think Mang0, he could get a part. He mentioned he's open to getting a part-time job if streaming doesn't work out. But I think he's in a position, like, he's always at least going to have enough subs and enough support from his diehard fans to keep him afloat stream-wise. And I think he's just going to kind of coast off of that. That's what I feel like is going to happen.
And just downsize when he needs to. I mean, again, like, who in Smash has any income at all? Like, any savings? Mang0, HBox, in the melee scene, I don't even know who. Like, is anybody else? I can't think of a single other player. ABW doesn't. Zain doesn't.
Yeah.
Amsa probably works full time, so it's unrelated.
Mm.
I don't know anybody else that does. I can't think of a
Yeah, I
single
mean,
person. Am I wrong? I mean,
Wizzy's got a sponsor, but I don't know if he's like made it.
Wizrobe, yeah, I can't imagine he's
Mm.
making serious income. He doesn't stream. He doesn't. I sponsors not.
Yeah.
Who's his sponsor anyway?
I don't even know.
Like, he doesn't.
Is it Golden? No, Golden Guardians isn't
Oh,
even a thing
yeah.
anymore. Is he?
I mean,
I don't. I'm
in League of
curious.
Legends, Golden Guardians is like the lowest paying organization. So I can't imagine.
Envy.
Can't
Envy
imagine
is
it
his
Smash.
thing.
They're really fronting. Oh, Envy. Okay.
But that's something that IBDW brought up in a video I want to break down in a later
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, we'll have to.
But he was just talking about how like between travel and food and the time he takes off streaming, he basically breaks even for melee tournaments.
Yeah, so he's making $0 an hour. Like, he's literally making rent plus food plus car money. So
as the best player in the world.
So I make twice the income he makes. I actually, within, I have a job. I don't know. I haven't technically got the job, but I applied. I called them. They're like, yeah, we'll hire you. So it's like, let's say I start working next month, like September 1st. I'll be making over twice what because he makes zero. He gets $0 to go to a savings account. He pays for his bills, but I'll be making twice my bills. So it's like working retail. I'll be making twice my bills working retail. So I'm making double his income working retail, a job that he could work tomorrow. He could go get a retail job tomorrow. Like,
and I don't know what his sub count's like.
Like, this is yearly. I mean, he's
yeah.
in this for years. Like, something's wrong in this scene, and it's getting smaller. It's contracting. This hacks issue on top of this Mang0 issue, it's really gonna contract soon. So it's like,
yeah.
I think we're gonna see a mass exodus in speed in melee in the next 12 months. I think that tournament we saw with like the pitiful viewer count, to me that's like the I mean, to me that's like the smoking gun. Well, maybe there's a better term, but I think that's indicative of, like, it should not have been that low. I don't think viewership. It should have been at least 60,000.
Especially like the fact that they hyped it up that much, and that's all they got. Like, that was supposed to be their turnaround. I think Ludwig funded that tournament specifically as a way to try to save the community from the hacks drama. They're like, move on. We got the biggest, hottest tournament coming out right now. Free entry. All the melee players are coming. Sign up. It's time to get it in. Like, that was their play, but everyone was so fucking done with it.
You know,
that it couldn't even work.
Could have done is have Mang0 play. It would have saved viewership, I think. But I can't do that, so they're just kind of screwed at this point. I don't know what they're supposed to do to. I think
you're right. Yeah.
I think
if Mang0 had played, it would have increased viewership.
Sorry, I kept interrupting you, but I was.
No,
what are you trying to say?
Yeah, I was just saying you're right. Like, if Mang0 had played, then it would have increased viewership.
Yeah, the other thing I think they could save the scene if they unbanned everybody and then just said you have to be on your best behavior at live events. I think if they did those two things, like everybody's on probation but everybody's unbanned, I think that would affect. You'd get so much pushback from a lot of the crowd who wants the bans. But I think it would. I think it would save the scene because they're not banned. If they want to come back and play the game, they're allowed to. So they don't like you, but they're still allowed to play. I think it would.
That's the issue.
But that's never gonna happen.
That's the issue. Is that, like, the crowd that wants the people banned is everyone in power. You know.
And it's funny. They're never gonna be banned. So why are they even mad? Like, they get to play the game. If they're either gonna quit themselves or continue to play. Like, if they quit, it's up to them. They'll never be banned. I don't see why they're even mad. Like, what are they even mad about?
The only chance is like the alternative tournaments, like
the
hacks, like Mana Monthly, and then there's one in New York. I believe it's an in-person monthly.
Yeah.
Because when the Hacks nightclub thing went down, a big organizer there, Wes, was super pissed at everyone for how they handled the hack situation.
Yeah.
So he started his own in-person tournament in New York called 20XX. Yeah, I think the only issue is, like, there's only so many people who have the time and the interest to put together their own tournaments like that. Like, it really takes a specific type of person who's not sold out and has the resources and the ability to host something like that.
It still feels like Kick or Rumble or Gab AI. It just feels
Yeah.
like there's an underserved minority that's like, this is the fringes, and honestly, if you play in that tournament, it's bad for your image, and it kind of singles you out from playing in the other tournament, and it's never gonna grow. It's never gonna get bigger. It's like, to me, it still just feels like, I don't see how the Mana Monthly could ever go global or ever becoming the mainstream accepted, like how the way current Melee tournaments still is. I mean, it's I think within 24 months, I mean, it's gonna be wild, because 24 months is 4 super majors, or it's 4 bi-yearly super majors, right? I don't know how many super majors that'll end up being, because we're not in the golden age. Like, how many golden super majors do you think would happen in 1 year?
Dude, I don't even know at this point.
Like, let's say 4. Let's just say 4, 1 for each season. None of these super majors are gonna have star players. Mang0's not there. HBox, honestly, is kind of, he doesn't. I mean, I guess he won Genesis, so I guess, he's an event. I mean, he is. I'll give him credit. Might be DW's in the gutter. Nobody trusts that guy.
He said he's about to retire, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, he claims he's gonna retire. I don't believe him, but he claims he's gonna retire. And then Zain is boring. Moki's interesting, but Moki's rarely wins tournaments. Amsa's super interesting, but he lives in Japan.
And I think you're so right about, like, the alternative scene being, like, so fringe, because it's like, okay, like, I'm in a position where I can't watch the new tournaments because, like, I just can't support it morally. But my alternatives are, like, watching Mana Monthly once a month, or, like, I don't even know, I'm not even aware that the 20XX tournament streams. So it's like, all the star players, like, or personalities or whatever, are still on, like, the super corrupt tournaments, and then there's just not enough of a draw from the other tournaments. So, like, yeah, it's divided up in a way that's super inconvenient for growth on all ends.
Yeah, it's well, shoot. I mean, is there anything left to talk about? I mean, I think I'm like running. I think I've said I said my pieces, but
yeah, I got you. I'm not trying to keep you. I know it's getting late. Yeah, there are. Maybe we can go over we'll go over one more thing.
Okay, cool.
Just because I think you'll particularly find this part entertaining, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay.
There was a lot of good times because of drinking. Relax.
Come on, dude, stop. Stop reminiscing on the good times of drinking. You're supposed to quit, Mang0.
That being said, okay, Mang0. Okay, hold on. Who called who gay? Hold on.
Oh, it's so
surprised
bad.
you
Sounds
kind of
gay.
Word on Twitch.
Previously sub 13 months. Why is that my community? Why is somebody says something?
I think let me wind it back a little bit.
I got banned for saying on Twitch.
Okay, you leave Drunk December out of this. There was a lot of good times because of drinking. Let's not.
Okay, so before this, he's like, yeah, I want to clean up my image, and I want to clean up how degenerate my chat has been. That's what he says. He wants to clean up his degenerate chat. That's part of his growth and his change.
Okay, Mang0. Okay, hold on. Who called who gay? Hold on. Sounds kind of gay. Previously sub 13 months. Why is that my community? Why is somebody says something in my chat? They're part of my community. This is what I want to understand. Also, like 70% of my chat is gay as shit. They're all gay. Literally. It's not a problem here. No, it's I've seen my chat. I've met them. I've seen them talk. They're gay as fuck. It's cool. It's fine. We got no problem here. No problem.
So let's break that down. He's the man with a wife and a kid who just sexually harassed multiple women, is now parlaying this growth. He's like, not only do I need to grow, but my chat needs to grow. So he singles out this one guy who called something gay. He said, sounds kind of gay. He's been subscribed for 13 months. He hones in on him. He's like, what? Like, why is my chat doing this? This is ridiculous. Can you believe this community? What's happening here? Like, dude, think about the reason you're streaming right now in the first place. Like, he's all about taking accountability. I mean, like, he's literally downplayed the shit out of
No.
everything. But as soon as someone in his chat, he said that sounds gay. He didn't even call anyone else gay. And he's honed in on this one thing to try to like grandstand or virtue signal.
Yeah, he is exactly.
It's so
I forgot
bizarre.
he's married. Like, wait, it's like
Yeah.
you have a married guy that's sexually harassing women at the scene. Which, like, it's obviously not the most severe thing in the universe that could have happened. Like, there's worse things that could happen. But in
Yeah.
the Melee community, it's a big deal. I mean, they really take it seriously on Twitch. They take it very seriously. And he's married, so I think it's a really severe offense. I think this is a very severe offense. This is
bad.
being ignored by everybody. His entire community is gaslighting everybody into thinking, and he is as well, into thinking that it's an alcohol issue. And it's like, I mean, is it an alcohol issue? Like we know he's married, right? I mean, we know that this is
Yeah. Yeah, you would think his morals would come through. Like even being that drunk, like how are you gonna like violate that many women's space? Like shouldn't you be conscious? Somewhat at least, you know, that you got a son, you gotta be a role model for, and you know, you got a wife at home.
I mean,
It's
Dr. Disrespect was totally canceled for cheating on his wife, remember?
yeah, but there was a minor involved as well.
Well, the first time it happened, he cheated on his wife.
First time. Yeah.
Yeah. The minor, I mean, I don't know the story of the minor. I didn't follow that, but these things aren't too off base. The issue is sexuality. He's married. Disrespect was banned from Twitch. He was totally canceled. He he lost all his sponsorships. Mang0, I mean, fortunately he lost his sponsorship. But I don't know how in tune you are with the rest of the esports scene. Esports is struggling for cash. So the fact that Mang0 did this, C9 is smiling. They're like, oh, wow, we get to cancel him as a sponsorship. They don't have to pay him anymore.
Yeah.
They want that. They were trying to kick him for years. They just need an excuse because he's not a huge issue. He's like he's on the radar a little bit, but honestly, he's not. They like the amount of money they pay Mang0, compared to like, so I'm not saying they're smiling, but the amount of money they pay Mang0 for their esports team is insignificant. But they're suffering for money, and it's like they need to cut costs. And so one of their person on their brand does anything irresponsible, they just get rid of him.
Yeah.
Immediately, just completely gut him.
Oh my god, because bro, he held up the cardboard cutout of himself with the C9 logo on it, and then dry humped someone with it.
Yeah, that's just sick. That's just sick. That is
like,
so
literally
bad for their brand, man. It's just shocking. Yeah, it's horrible for their brand, man. Because C9 is a very clean brand. That is mind blowing. But anyway, it's still the fact that like when Dr. Disrespect cheated on his wife, it was a major controversy. This doesn't seem like a controversy at all. I don't see anybody even really talking about it. The only thing I see people talking about is that, well, he needs to slow down or he needs to quit the alcohol. But it's like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, there's way bigger issues here.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fucking crazy, and it is wild that no one's talking about it. You'll see in the chat a little bit every once in a while, someone's like, "Be careful with that talk, bro," or like, "No, you need to focus on being." So there's like little glimmers of it. But as far as the people on Twitter, that is actually, I was gonna show you this.
Yeah, let's.
Anti.
Oh my god, I saw this on your pre-roll. It was interesting.
Yeah. One person I'm thoroughly disappointed in for his inaction helping Aziz is Mang0 TBH, 2009 veteran, knew hacks well, as the poll influence to make change. Not gonna read that part. Wasn't his job, it's still disappointing to see. So he was, you know, kind of, he was critical of Mang0 for the situation, and I think I couldn't find it, but I believe he was the one who tweeted the clip of Mang0. He's when hacks passed and Mang0 was live. He's like, "Yeah, man, I feel so bad for Leffen." That's what Mang0 said.
Yeah.
So that was he was giving him shit for that. But now, let's look at this tweet. Mang0 was my fucking dog, man. Glad he back on the path to prosperity. And he posts this tweet. This is so weird because you can't even see what Mang0. I'm guessing it's a deleted tweet of Anti's, and it's just this like mildly complimentary thing he said about him. from 9 years ago. It's such a strange flip flop because he was, like I said, these people start out super critical, but then all of a sudden when it comes to Mang0, they flip flop. Like this guy wants to be on Mang0's good side now. He's like, oh, I'm happy for him. It's like you were just trashing this guy a few months ago. All right, but it's getting late. We can wrap it up. There's only one more thing that I want to cover, and it really shows how desperate Melee is for any type of positive headline.
This is a fantastic ending note, because this is just sad.
Yeah, this is the most desperate, pathetic attempt I've seen for a positive headline for Melee.
Oh, good DI doesn't get regrabbed.
And Zain. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
You got some jumps, but you got jumps.
He's got one more. Oh,
you crazy?
He's still living. No, he's not.
It's Zain taking it.
Oh,
3 times.
Bro did a cartwheel.
Bro did a cartwheel.
Bro did a cartwheel.
The 3-time Gommel champion. Oh, good.
Bro did a cartwheel.
That was so scripted. That cartwheel. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do a cartwheel if I win." In his mind, he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be really cool."
Oh my god, have you ever done a cartwheel?
I'm like 9 years old. Hard.
Yeah.
I think it's hard. I think I'm too fat to do a cartwheel too, honestly. He's such
So
a skinny guy. You probably do it.
I've done some cartwheels, right? It's not like this is not the most athletic display of human.
I'd be impressed. Like I'm impressed.
ability.
I can't do a cartwheel.
Like you. I mean, when you were 9 years old, you did a cartwheel.
Yeah.
It's really. Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. I think it's July 6th. Okay, so was this before or after the Mang0 ban? It was before.
Like slightly. Was it? Nah. No, because he was banned too. The Mang0 thing. No, yeah, this was after the Mang0 ban.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah, you're right. June. He got banned in June. I remember now. You're right. And also, it brings up another point that I think Zain is really boring. I think the guy is super boring. He's just not interesting. Doesn't have.
This was his plan to save Melee.
I know, like
this was his ace in the hole.
Like you gotta do. I don't know. Become a. He's not the villain. He doesn't win everything. He has no charisma whatsoever. He has no real talking skills. His stream's boring. He's also constantly doing stuff like this to try and bring interest to the scene, but like it's so obvious and like perceptible. It's so transparent. Like it's just. I feel like when Zain is like, yeah, I'm gonna cut my hair if I lose this money match or something. It's like I don't care, man. I'm sorry. I think this guy.
No, it really is. It's like the most normie. It's like the most normie brained like way to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
I'm not even. I'll dye my hair. I'll do a cartwheel.
I don't think it's bad that he's in the scene. I like that he's in the scene. He's good for the game. He's probably within the top 3 people that's actually helping the game on any level. I think Amsa is doing a great job for the game just because everyone loves Amsa.
Amsa's sick as fuck.
He's Japanese, helps out a lot. He's super fair. He's honest. He's such a tryhard. He has such an incredible story. But Amsa is interesting. You see what I mean? He's got an interesting story. He's got crazy. Yeah, he's so interesting. Zane's not interesting. Zane plays Marth. He wins way too much. He's not. I mean, he's not that good. Like you know, if he loses, it's not that surprising. He's not arrogant. Yeah, which is like it helps out sometimes. I don't know. I think
Melee's so cooked because viewership was already on the downtrend just because IBDW and Zain were in grand finals so often.
Yeah,
it was just boring.
Hates IBDW. IBDW is interesting, but he's just hated.
Yeah.
Like imagine
it's hard not to hate him.
Imagine if the top 6 was super active. This is like 2015, and he was getting good. I think it would be funny.
Yeah,
because there's like it would be so much drama, but it's not. It's 2024, and he's like, "I'm the best Melee player in history," and it's like, dude, you're just lying through your teeth. That's not true. Like you're beating people that are not trying. Like hungrybox doesn't try, and like Mang0 doesn't try, and it's like, okay, you beat Zain in grand finals.
It's like, okay, dude, like it's so
there's
Yeah,
10 to 15
there's no
players better than me,
story.
man. Like, it's just it's just not.
There's not a good story with it. It's like you said, like Amsa's from Japan and he plays an underdog character
Yeah.
and single-handedly rose him through the ranks and he's technical. Or like, you
I mean,
know, like
even
what Mang0's stylish or
yeah, right.
hungrybox is divisive, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? But then it's like IBDW, it's like, yeah, no shit if you play Fox for 10 hours a day and get wired off 30 milligrams of Vyvanse,
Yeah, he
like
takes
you're gonna
Vyvanse.
be the best player.
Not helping
Like
his
if you
case.
get geeked on stimulants and play all the time with the best character, it's like no shit, you're the best player. It's just not interesting.
It's not, and I think BDW is more interesting than Zain. I mean, Zain is just truly boring, but
Mm,
I just don't like the guy. He's a liar. He's clearly a liar. Like
yeah.
he looks weird. He's got this seedy look in his eyes. His 2020 coming out story. I read that when it happened, and I decided that this was a horrible idea to release this. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't even care that you were a victim of anything. I just think this is weird, and I don't even support you, man. Like, I'm sorry.
And then he lied about it
Yes,
and then flipped it on hacks.
I guess that's the story. Is that that was all fake? Or no,
Yeah.
99% of it's fake. He like severely overplayed what happened.
Yeah, that is what it is.
Not helping his case. I don't know. Yeah, I think we should definitely track the Melee community over the next year or two. And I track Mang0. I'm gonna track his.
Mm.
I mean, I do got to get out of here. It's getting super late for me.
Yeah, dude, no,
It was
100%.
fun. I am. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
but
coming. I mean, for
of
bringing
course,
on.
we'll do a quick outro.
Yeah, thank
Yo,
you.
thank you guys for watching. Real Alpha Gamer, Monkey But Carnival. We're covering this Melee shit, dude. Like when I made a video about IBDW like right before the technicals video came out, and I wanted to like track this stuff, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just never really got to it till now, and I couldn't have imagined that so much shit was gonna go down and it was gonna implode so horribly. Like I just didn't think there was gonna be so much to talk about, but it just keeps burning and crashing.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, like please subscribe. I please
100%.
like the video, please subscribe, please comment. I mean, I sit through countless 3-hour podcasts. I love them. It really helps out. And even if it doesn't help out the YouTube metrics, because I don't know how YouTube does their algorithms, it does help out a lot. It really does help out. It helps out visually. It helps you as a fan engage with us. It helps us feel better about ourselves. It's such a significant deal. So yeah, I really appreciate it. I mean, we really appreciate the subscriptions. I mean, it's such a big deal.
100%. Yeah, I mean, if you rock with what you're saying, like if you feel a type of way about how things are going, and like you feel like you can't speak up, or like you feel like there's not a place where people are articulating what you're feeling, like definitely give us a chance, definitely give us a watch, because like we've both been like in this sphere for a long time, and there's so much shit to talk about and go into. So definitely drop a like, drop a subscription. We're gonna be talking a lot more about this, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hell yeah, dude. Nah, we cooked, bro.
That was pretty fun.